Good evening, everyone, and welcome to High Top Sports Network on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market pregame show on HTSN. I'm Jake DeLuca bringing you the action here tonight. Joined with me is Ryan Sprankle, and on the camera controls, Colton Henderson. Ryan, this game, a big one tonight. The winner of this will go into sole possession of second place in the Greater Allegheny Conference. So a lot on the line here, and I think this is going to be a pretty fun one. You got two of the top passing teams in the WPIAL going up against each other, so I expect a high-flying game here tonight.
Oh, this is going to be a fun game to watch. Both quarterbacks confident, both quarterbacks coming into this game having great seasons, both over 1,100 yards, both 12 or more touchdowns. Both are able to hurt you any given play, 50 yards, running spreads, running RPO. And I think in a game like this, it's which team can kind of get settled in and find a balance early. That's usually the team that wins these type of games. The team that can find a balance, make you have to play both the run and the pass. Both teams have a lot of RPO built in. I saw a pistol look from Greensburg-Salem with a little option. So I think both teams just are going to be trying early to find that balance, get into a rhythm. For a big game like this, the first team that can kind of settle their nerves and get into a rhythm usually is the team that comes out on top.
And I know it's kind of a cliche, but going down the stretch here, every game matters that much more. 4 games left counting this one here tonight, and they're all going to be section games for both of these teams as they get into the meat and potatoes of that section schedule. Both of these teams come into this game winning 2 of their last 3, with Armstrong's latest win at Mars, 37-0, and then Greensburg-Salem falling to the section or conference leading Hampton Talbots 45-6. And if you look up and down this Armstrong schedule, one thing that pops out is their game at Hampton, going into a hostile environment. Hampton 6-0 on the season, undefeated in conference play, and Armstrong nearly came away with the win. If you remember, they had that last-second chance, going for 2, going for the win, but pushing the Talbots to their limits. And on the other side, it looked like Greensburg-Salem really struggled against the Talbots, so that could tell you a little bit about what we can expect here tonight.
Well, this is a huge game for both teams. Both programs have kind of struggled over the last few years, especially Greensburg-Salem. Armstrong hasn't made the playoffs in a few years, so both teams, this is kind of a big year for them. They have an opportunity. You only get so many windows where you have a quarterback of either of these caliber. And so you get those small windows where you have these leaders, and you got to take advantage of those windows. So for both teams, I feel like this is so important that for their programs that they win this game, because this will dictate the rest of the season, whether or not they go into the rest of the season with momentum, whether they go in the playoffs or outside looking in the playoffs. So huge game for both teams. I expect both teams to come out fired up. And, I think the pressure in my mind, though, is on Armstrong. They're at home, playing in front of the home crowd. They've all-state quarterback, a lot of expectations. Dropped a heartbreaker to Hampton, or else we'd be talking about a whole different forecast here. But this is a huge game for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the 2 quarterbacks, Hayden Teska, the senior for Greensburg-Salem, and then on the other side, the man of the hour, Caden Olson, a junior. So both of these guys getting into their upperclassman year, Teska, a senior. So this is really, I'm sure him and, the rest of his teammates want to get it done while they have him at quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You got to take advantage of this. Being a senior, he's coming into this game looking very sharp, looking very good. They have a nice record. They've had some impressive wins. They've scored a lot of points, haven't given up a lot of points. It seems like based on their whole schedule, last week against Hampton was kind of an anomaly. That wasn't par for the course. So I look for them to come out and rebound. I'm sure they had a good week of practice coming off that loss. You always learn a lot more off of losses, especially losses like that. So I'm sure that they changed a lot of things. I'm sure they're going to come out looking good. And as far as Armstrong's concerned, they just got to come out and try to get the momentum early, keep the momentum going throughout the whole game.
Yeah, Teska ranked 3rd in the WPIAL in passing yards. Olson right behind him at 4, but Olson holding the lead in the WPIAL for passing touchdowns at 17. And one thing that Caden Olson does extremely well is protect the football. Only 4 interceptions on the season, 2 of which came in the same game. So it's going to be interesting. Teska, on the other hand, comes into this one with 8 interceptions, so he can be a little loose with the ball at times. Definitely going to have to reel that in against this opportunistic Armstrong defense.
Well, Olson's experience, for Billy being a junior, the fact that this is probably his 17th or 18th start as a junior, all that, every time you play a game, you learn something, especially at the quarterback position. You learn 5 or 6 things. So you build that over 18 games of experience, and it leads to fewer mistakes, fewer interceptions. The other thing with Olsen, with his arm strength and with his size, he has great field vision. He's able to see the field very well. And with his arm strength, he's able to put the ball in windows like we saw last week. A couple times he put the ball in windows that most guys can't even attempt. So with that ability to see the field and that ability to reach the field, it really gives him a huge advantage. And I think that's why you're seeing so many touchdowns and so few interceptions.
Yeah, and before we started on this pregame show, brought to you by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, #SaveOnMeat, we saw this just effortless back shoulder pass right into the end zone. And, he makes it look so easy out there.
You hear about the great quarterbacks, of all time. When people watch their practices, whether it be high school, whether it be college, they always make the comment that the ball never hits the ground. And when you watch his warm-ups, when he's throwing against air, the ball rarely hits the ground. And most of the time he hits these guys in stride. I saw Teska's warm-up. Teska looked pretty sharp as well. He was able to put the ball on the money most of the time. Maybe not quite as sharp as Olsen, just at a glance, looking at the pregame. But at the same time, I mean, he's somebody to be afraid of.
Yeah, and these aren't the Greensburg-Salem Golden Lions that the Armstrong Riverhawks have played in the past. In their past 2 meetings, Armstrong came away with some big wins here. They first played them in 2015, where Armstrong won 48-13, and then last year they played and won 40-0. And another interesting fact for everybody: those 2 games were played on October 9th. Today, October 8th. So
wow,
kind of
wild.
Interesting that all 3 of these meetings have come around the same time of year, within a day of each other, or on the same day.
That is interesting. And, coaches and programs, they have great memories. So both of these programs, both these coaches, they know exactly what the score is in this matchup right now. If you're Greensburg-Salem, it's not hard to find some kind of motivation going into this game, coming off those losses. Now you have a great quarterback. You have a good team putting up a lot of points. So now this is like going into this game, coming off that Hampton loss, being such a bad loss, and then along with the motivation of, hey, wanting to prove something against Armstrong and themselves, I just think the motivation's there for them to give us a great game here tonight. And Armstrong, you got to watch against a team like that you've had that kind of success with. You got to watch that you don't get overconfident, especially coming off of a game last week where, they had to grind it out a little bit in the first half, but it was a pretty smooth ride to the finish. So you kind of have to watch for a letdown there. You got to keep yourself up, keep yourself sharp, make sure you respect your opponent. So, I mean, they're a well-coached team, Armstrong is, and they got great leadership, so I don't look for that to be a problem. But that is something you have to watch for in these kind of matchups.
Very well said there, Ryan. We're going to take a quick break here. Hear from Hawk Talk as our Josh Schreckengoss sat down with Armstrong head coach Pat Fabian.
Our officials for tonight's matchup, the referee Bill Rowland.
So without any further ado, we're going to take it over to Hawk Talk on this Sprankle's Neighborhood Market pregame show. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hello once again, and welcome to High Top Sports Network's weekly edition of Hawk Talk. Here with Armstrong Varsity head football coach Frank Fabian. My name is Josh Schreckengost. Coach, a big game coming up tomorrow. You and Greensburg-Salem, both 4-2 overall, both 2-1 in the section, and 2 big passing attacks. But before I want to get into that, I want to just talk about how you guys took care of business at Mars. 37-0 shutout, and got on top of them quick.
Right, that was the plan with the guys. I don't know if we envisioned 37-0, but we knew that Mars was younger this year. They had a great senior class with Teddy Riefner last year graduate. So, and they had been struggling. It's been no secret coming into the game. But what I told the guys is we didn't want to let them hang around, and let them hang around a little longer than I cared for. But they come out in the second half there and punched. I think it was 3 straight touchdowns in and put them away. Real happy with that quarter there.
Talk to me a little bit about the defense. I was looking at the stats and the standings before our interview today, and you guys are only giving up 11.8 points per game. Second best to Plum, who's 11.7, I believe. And, defense is playing really well. Obviously hung up a goose egg last week.
Yeah, Coach Hawks coordinates our defense, and he's done a great job with those guys. I think our linebackers probably played their best game of the year last year. Dozik Zawacki, Jackson Chrisman, Connor Jacobs, and Isaiah Brown. They were flying around to the ball. Julius Barnes has probably been our most consistent defensive lineman. D-line's playing better, and the linebackers are playing at the level right now that we thought that they might play coming into the year. But it's going to be a totally different animal tomorrow night when they're going to attack us a little differently than the last couple teams have. So we got to be ready for that. But real happy with the way the front eight played down at Mars.
Yeah, speaking of that different attack, you guys have faced a lot of wing T, a lot of running. Hampton ran against you guys 62 times in one game. Don't think we're going to see that out of Hayden Teska and the Golden Lions.
No, definitely not. I don't know where he's at in the WPIAL now. I think he maybe dropped the last couple of weeks, but I know he's up there towards the top. And the thing that they have receivers, they have 4 or 5 guys that stand out on tape. Obviously, I don't know names per se, but number 11, I think he's leading the WPIAL right now. He's dangerous, so we're gonna got to give him a little extra TLC. But they got 3 or 4 other guys that kind of remind me of us last year, and having 3-4 weapons that they can go to at any time. But yeah, we played a lot of one-dimensional teams up to this point, and I think they present a little bit different challenge in the fact that they can attack you on the ground and in the air. So it's going to be a challenge, and they have lived off explosive plays so far this year. So that's been the emphasis this week, is we have to limit explosive plays. We got to make them drive the ball. And if we do that, I think we'll be okay. But they're very good at getting big chunks of yardage. So that's going to hopefully that's going to be our number one focus tomorrow night.
As the season progresses, the games get bigger, especially when you guys are winning. And this is a big one right now. Hampton on top of the section, undefeated. But you guys, this is for sole possession of second in place behind the Talbots. What have you told your team leading up to this game? Obviously the biggest of the season so far.
Right. The saying around here is, it's the next game is the biggest game of the year is the next game, because it's the next one. And that's kind of how we approach it every week. So once tomorrow night's over, then Highlands will be the biggest game of the year. So that's kind of our mentality. We don't try to look too far down the road as far as playoffs and all that stuff. Right now, it's about Greensburg-Salem and being at our best when they come into our stadium. Trying to make our kids aware that the thing that I had to do this week is try to get them to look away from the score. Yeah. Because it was a much closer game. There was there was a block punt that led to a touchdown. Greensburg-Salem had a touchdown called back. So you take a few things out of that game, and I think it was a much closer game. So I'm just trying to drive that point home to them that they can't read too much into that 40-6 score. It was a closer game. Just some breaks didn't go their way, and obviously when Hampton got a big lead, then they could sit back and really play pass, and that's what they did. And Greensburg had a tough time with that. So I'm expecting a very good football game tomorrow night.
Well, you can see that excellent big game here right on HighTopSportsNetwork.com. You can find us on Facebook, High Top Sports, or on Twitter at @HighTop_sports. Riverhawks going to be taking on Greensburg-Salem tomorrow night for sole possession of second place in the Greater Allegheny Conference. This week's edition of Hawk Talk is sponsored by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. Find them on Facebook, Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, #SaveOnMeat. Thanks so much to Armstrong head varsity football coach Frank Fabian for joining me, Josh Reckengost, on another edition.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project and containing store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Everybody, we're getting excited for the Monster Walk. We want to tell you a few things for the Monster Walk. We want to let you know that the parking lots will be closed that night. And when you come for the Monster Walk, come into the natatorium doors first. We'll show you where to line up, and then you're going to go through these doors and walk through the Nightmare Before Christmas natatorium.
So in the ladies' locker room, we're going to enjoy Harry Potter and the gang. Obviously, we're not going to go in today. But once you leave the locker room, we're going to head on over to the gym, where there is going to be a creepy carnival.
So after the creepy carnival, you're gonna come into our studio. You'll have an opportunity to take a family picture with your young ones in their costumes. You'll also, this is where we will take the pictures for our costume contest. Yes, that's right, I said it. Costume contest, just like last year. Guess what? We're gonna put them on Facebook. The one with the most likes wins. So if your child gets a little chip that says take my picture, hand it to me. I'll be taking pictures. We'll put them on Facebook and you're in the contest. Now let's go outside. I got some friends for you to meet. Another community partners outside. Let's go. What's up, guys? So we're outside. I told you I had friends, and it's gonna be a huge event. Without further ado, here is Joe Rhodes from High Top Sports. Hey guys, so excited about the 29th. We're gonna have the Jumbotron right over my shoulder here. Armstrong Riverhawks taking on the Indiana Little Indians. It's at Indiana. A little bit of a drive, so why not cut that part of it out? Come here, enjoy all the things that are going on, and watch your Riverhawks right on the big screen. Bring a chair, bring a blanket. Just be ready for the game. Chuck from Katanning Cares, what else we got going?
Well, you come down to Rich D. Snyder for our second annual trunk or treat. We're gonna have so many trunks there. TGIF's gonna have one. Sprinkle's gonna have a meat truck or meat band. Handing out coupons, handing out candies. Plus, we're going to have many more trunks for you. Plus, 100 real live pumpkins, paint kits to go along with that for the first 100 kids, and 1,500 bags of candy loaded up for the first kids that come through.
It's going to be a great night. I'll tell you what do you think? What do you think, Colby?
I'm loving it. Love to be a partner. Proud to have a trunk. Can't wait to see what happens.
Going to be trunks everywhere. Going to be candy everywhere. Going to be monsters everywhere. Going to be a football game. You can't beat this. October 29th. Make sure you're at Richard G. Snyder YMCA in Katanning. It's going to be the place to be. Everybody's going to be happy. You're going to feel great. We can't do what we do without you.
I'm Jake DeLuca with High Top Sports, reminding you all to smash that like button and share it while you're at it too.
Hey, I'm Chuck from #KataniCares. Make sure you like and share this post.
Colby with TGIF Solutions. Make sure you like this post and smash that share.
What's up, everybody? Andrew Scholl here from the Richard G. Snyder YMCA. Share and like, please.
Ryan with Sprankles. #Save on Meat. Like and share.
Joe from HTSN, like and share.
And welcome back, everyone, to High Top Sports Network on the Sprankles Neighborhood Market pregame show here on HTSN. I'm Jake DeLuca, joined by Colton Henderson on the cameras and Ryan Sprankle, my color commentator for the day. We talked a little bit about both of these teams before we cut to break for Hawk Talk, and that message from the YMCA that we're happy to be a part of, both of us here, Ryan, on October 29th.
October 29th, if you don't have plans, even if you do have plans, break them, because Richard G. Snyder YMCA between 7 and question mark. It's going to be a great event. There's going to be a monster walk through the Y. There's going to be a trunk or treat. The kids can get a ton of great treats in a controlled, non-traffic environment. Tons of businesses are going to be involved with trunks, giving out candy, giving out all kinds of different prizes and different tons of candy. And then also there's going to be a watch party. Of course, High Top Sports Network's going to have a watch party for the Armstrong, Indiana game. So it's going to be the event to be at in the area.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on that day, the final week of the season for football season. And Armstrong's going to be on the road at Indiana. So why not come down to the Richard G. Snyder YMCA, check it out, watch the game, trunk or treat, monster crawl. If you have kiddos, it's the place to be on October 29th.
No, it's going to be a great event. Last year, I had the privilege of being at the trunk or treat. #KataniCares, Chuck Henneborn. Great event with over 1,500 people in the rain. It was unbelievable. So you match that up with a monster walk, with a watch party, and a nice, big, awesome environment like Richard G. Snyder YMCA. And, I mean, it's just going to be dynamite. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm also excited. I don't think I'm going to be able to be there because we got a bunch of games going on, but we will have a trunk down there, so I think we all will. Me and you and our friends at TGIF Solutions also going to have a trunk, so take the kids out, get some candy. I couldn't think of a better time around the spooky season, as the kids call it.
#KataniCares alone has enough candy for like 1,000 people, so you match that up with all of our trunks. It's just going to be great for the kids, a great night for the kids, but great for the adults too, you know. The Monster Walk, everybody said the Monster Walk last year was amazing. People were lined up for it. And then, of course, a watch party. I mean, that's going to be amazing, too. So you max all that together. It's just going to be a great community event on October 29th at the Richard G. Snyder YMCA. People are going to want to be there for sure.
Absolutely. But back to tonight's game here. We talked about the quarterbacks a lot, but, you know, I want to highlight some of the other guys that helped them look good on Friday nights. I want to start with Greensburg-Salem's receiver, Cody Rubrick, number 2 in the WPIAL, just 3 yards behind the leader in yardage, and that is Eli Heinderich with 573. Rubrick right behind him with 570. So there's a guy that's averaging about 100 yards per game through the air, and to go along with those great receiving numbers, he's also got 7 touchdowns to his name as the Golden Lions storm the field.
And both of these quarterbacks, let's face it, when you're going up against a high-level, high-caliber quarterback, high-caliber offense, the best way to defend a great quarterback is to keep him on the sidelines. So if they can come out and they can get – whatever team can come out and get the ball going down the field, running and passing, using the RPOs, possessing the ball for more than 5-10 minutes, if they can come up with a couple of those possessions, whatever team can do that, keep the other quarterback on the sidelines, keep him frustrated, antsy, not let him get settled into this game. And then if they come out and they can put some pressure on the quarterback, all of a sudden you can go into the second or third quarter and the other quarterback's not really settled in. So I think whoever can come out, I said it before in the pregame, whoever can come out and get some balance going offensively and possess the ball and show a mixture of run pass and get their offense feeling good, get everything going downhill with a running game, it's going to go a long way to slowing down the opposing quarterback.
Yeah, and it's a great night as well because it's Military Appreciation Night here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School at Next Tier Bank Stadium. Sergeant Lewis, on the behalf of the Army National Guard, donated the uniforms, gave a talk to the teams before the game, and has really made himself a part of this event. And we covered a game at Knock where they did the same thing, and last year we were a part of that broadcast at Freeport for their Military Appreciation Night. But you'll see a little different colored jersey on the Riverhawks as they take the field now.
I'll tell you, it's been pretty special, too, the way they came out in the pregame, the band, recognizing all different services of the armed forces with tributes, playing their anthems, playing the school anthem, really got the crowd into the game. It's an active crowd out there tonight. Everybody in the stadium knows what's at stake tonight. There's a lot more than just this game at stake tonight. So it's going to be exciting. I'm fired up to watch this game.
Yeah, and I just want to bring it back to the point you made before that, ball control is going to be so important in this game. And last year, Armstrong really a one-sided offense through the air. But this year, I think that's no secret. I think even head coach Frank Fabian would admit that last year a little too one-dimensional through the air. But this year, they've been pounding the rock pretty good. Olsen, in particular, is leading this team with 422 yards, 7 touchdowns on the ground. Alex Patton behind him at 304 and 3 touchdowns. And we've seen guys like Jackson Chrisman get some time at back and did pretty well. Caleb Bretzer also getting some carries. So adding that extra wrinkle of the run game can certainly help you in the ball control category.
Well, one thing I've noticed a big difference in Olsen this year versus last year. He's definitely got a lot stronger. You can tell he's really spent a lot of time in the gym. He's really spent a lot of time getting his body where it needs to be. And you can see it. You can see in the leg strength. He's not going down with those arm tackles. He's breaking the arm tackles. He's getting yards after contact that he wasn't getting last year. I mean, he had some big runs last week. He's had some big runs all season. One thing I thought was huge last week, though, more so than any other time this season, that could be a great thing for the Riverhawks come down the stretch. They showed balance because in the games before that, mainly the running game was through Olsen scrambling. Last week, Patton really stepped up, and the general really became a force. And now, all of a sudden, if you're a defense, now all of a sudden, instead of just being able to key on Olsen, putting that shadow on Olsen, spying on Olsen, now you have to watch because they have almost like an option look at any time. Olsen, he can give or pull based on what the defense is doing. And with Patton running downhill, running with such authority last week, it almost became impossible to defend in that second half. It was impossible for Mars to defend because now all of a sudden you have to worry about 50 yards downfield, Olsen being able to extend the ball with his arm, or you have to worry about him scrambling. Now you have to worry about a run pass option. Now you have to worry about almost an option between him and Patton. Offensive line looked good. I'll tell you, they had a lot of good things going. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue that momentum into today.
Yeah, Ryan, and don't forget the play action then becomes that much more deadly as well.
Absolutely.
So, Armstrong in mid-season form at this point, really striking a good balance between the run and pass. I would still say that they're a little more pass than run, but definitely an improvement over last year's squad, and that's represented in their record, 4-2 overall, 2-1 in section. I mentioned earlier in this Sprankles Neighborhood Market pregame show that both of these teams have the exact same record, so the winner of this will be second place in the division unequivocally. So big ramifications for tonight's game as the captains make their way to midfield.
And in big games like this, too, let's face it, in big games like this, it usually comes down to turnovers. What team makes mistakes, especially early, to give the other team that favorable start? It's tough to come back from that kind of a start, so it's really going to be important these first couple of possessions for both teams that they maintain the ball, 2 hands on the ball, running the ball, really be careful of the turnover early because early turnovers, I don't care if it's a Super Bowl, I don't care if it's a Pee-wee scrimmage. Turnovers, usually whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game.
Absolutely, and this Armstrong defense has proven to be one that's opportunistic. They've gotten a lot of turnovers this season in the games that I've gotten to watch them play. Just a ball-hawking secondary, and that defensive line, that front seven, is nothing to mess with either. They can create a lot of pressure in the backfield, and that could make Hayden Teska uncomfortable back there.
Well, in the modern game, they're teaching it anymore. With the way the game, I don't care what level it is, the game is set up for offense anymore. So defensively, it's not so much X's and O's and hitting people anymore. It's more training people to look for the ball, to take chances on picks, to strip the ball. You're not looking to make the big hit like you were 20 years ago. Now you're looking to it's almost like a wrestling takedown. Hold them up and strip the ball. So it's an entirely different approach to defense in general than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so, both teams are well coached on that. It's going to be very important that both teams handling the ball are very careful of that.
Absolutely. And the honorary captain out there tonight, Alex Shiring, being it's just great to see that out there on the field as well for the coin toss. And
it's a special moment.
Looks like the decision was made, and Armstrong will be kicking off first here to start the game tonight.
And you can tell this is a big game because the crowd, there's not a lot of chatter in the crowd. If you look at the faces of the crowd right now, everybody's focused. Everybody's watching the game pretty intently. There's not a lot of people having conversations. This is a very intelligent crowd, very football-educated crowd. They all know what's at stake, and you can tell there's a lot of anticipation out there tonight.
And now, just moments away from the Belmont Complex opening kickoff. Tonight's opening kickoff is sponsored by the Belmont Complex in Katanning. Check out their Learn to Skate and Learn to Play Hockey programs as the kick is away. That one dropped on the ground by Rubricht. He's able to pick it up, turn something out of nothing. He has a crease up the near sideline and brought down right past the 30-yard line.
Well, you're seeing that more and more in the modern game as teams have become better at setting up the return and getting big returns, and it's become so specialized now. You're seeing more of that like squib kick look, but that time, unfortunately, Armstrong was trying to kick more into the corner. They left it into the center of the field and enabled him to get a nice return set up.
But for more information about lesson times, program registrations, and more, go to belmontcomplex.net or call Gary Montebell at 724-548-1067. As we're set up now, 1st and 10, ball on the 36-yard line, and an early flag here on the first offensive play of the day.
That's an absolute killer. That's a coach's nightmare. There's a headset being thrown somewhere because you come out, you just got a great return, you just got momentum in your favor, and now you have a mental error early. You're making a mental error early. You have a procedure problem. Now you're 1st and 15. The momentum that you gained is just taken away. So let's see what happens here.
Man goes in motion here for the Golden Lions. Teska gets the snap. Back gets a couple of yards there. That's Candy on the carry.
Well, they showed that pistol look in pregame. A lot of teams go with that pistol look to really give the defense something else to look for. If they have a special runner, give him a couple more yards before he hits the line of scrimmage to get his vision set. That time, Armstrong did a great job of maintaining their gaps, absorbing all the blocks up front and allowing the linebackers to fill.
This takes us now to 2nd and 11. Teska in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers split out on either side, dropping back. He gets this one away, and he finds his man there on the reception, Donovan Waller. He's taken down near the first down marker.
That was just a good job of quarterback and receiver being on the same page. Simple option route across the board. Armstrong was well off, 7 to 10 yards off on the corners before the snap. Quarterback read it, receiver read it. Timing was good, first down.
Sometimes that first down can be the toughest one to get, but Greensburg-Salem getting it here on their opening drive. Once again, it'll be the quarterback, Hayden Teska, in the shotgun, running back flanking him to his left. Gives the handoff up the middle to John Wallish, and he gets across the 50-yard line, tackled down.
And that was a good job of the offensive line moving some people. In the last play where they tried to run, Armstrong did a good job of absorbing the blocks. That time, the guard in the center were able to get to that second layer, take on the linebackers, and that's why he got a nice gain there.
2nd down and 6 upcoming after the gain of 4 on the run. Running a lot out of the pistol here, Ryan. No different here. Handoff going up the middle. He bounces it off one tackler before being taken down.
That was a great job of Armstrong containing, not allowing him to bounce that time. I think it was Brown that turned him back in, The linebackers filled perfectly. That's the way you draw it up when you're practicing. When you have your defensive practice, when they run sweeps, you want to maintain all your lanes and force that runner out, and then have somebody turn it back into your help. And they did a great job at that time. Brown did a great job of turning that in, not letting him get a big gain out of it.
Not only not a gain, but a yard loss on the play. That sets up the Golden Lions, 3rd and 7, ball on the 50-yard line. Teska gets the snap, quick throw to the near sideline. He gets it to his favorite target there, Cody Rubricht, and Rubricht's going to have enough for the first down and then some before stepping out of bounds right around the 34-yard line.
Well, once again, Armstrong came out, and they're showing a lot of respect for these receivers. They came out about 7 yards off the ball, and Greensburg-Salem, they lined up trips to the right, put their best receiver to the boundary side on the left, pretty much one-on-one with the corner with a 7-yard cushion, pitch and catch. They're gonna have to contest him a little stronger.
Teska gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll take it himself on the option. Falls forward for a solid gain there on first down. And that's not something I saw a lot whenever I watched these two teams play at Knock earlier in the season. You didn't see a lot of Teska running there, but that time a designed quarterback run, and it picks up a nice chunk of yards, about 2nd and 5 now.
Well, that's something, Greensburg-Salem brought in their backup running back, number 17, Owen Barton, and, right away they do a fake to him, and then Teska keeps. So that'll be something interesting to see if that becomes a trend.
Teska with the handoff up the middle, bouncing it off the left tackle there before being taken down right around the 24 or 26-yard line rather. Just a couple yards short of the first down marker, so 3rd and about 2.
And Greensburg-Salem again did a nice job of getting some of those linemen into that second level. Last week we saw the Armstrong defensive front doing a great job of keeping the blocks tied up, allowing the linebackers to flow to the tackles. That time, and in the last play, Greensburg-Salem was able to get their blockers to the second level, and that's bad news for a defense.
Handoff goes to Wallish up the middle. He's able to break through a wall of Riverhawks before being taken down beyond the first down marker. So this Greensburg-Salem team really getting it done on both sides, running and passing here on this drive.
It was a good, strong run there. Armstrong basically brought the house. They decided they weren't going to give up a run. He shed some nice tackles in the backfield, was able to get forward and get a first down.
Teska in the pistol, trying to get the hard count. He steps up to the line to audible.
That's a ploy you see more and more. They do that hard count fake to try to get the defense to dictate what they're going to do, and then they call in their play.
Man in motion that time is Christian Hostetler. Pass is up, and what a catch there by Rubricht. He leans forward. The ball popped out, but they're going to mark him down, I think, as it looked like the ball came out after it touched the turf.
And once again, if you're Armstrong, that's way too easy. They're playing 7 to 10 yards off. They're giving these guys free releases. And, when you got a great quarterback like that and a solid offensive line, if you make it that easy for a receiver to get into his route, it's going to be awful tough to stop, especially if you're in a zone.
Now it's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. We're now in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser's there. Teska in the gun. Handoff goes to the back. Once again, that's Wallish. And Wallish falling forward for a couple yards there. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 2 or 3.
And Isaiah Brown, again, did a great job of playing downhill football, coming upfield, forcing it inside. And that time, actually, he made the tackle himself.
So they're going to spot the ball at the 2-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Teska and the offense coming back out onto the field. Wallish in it, running back behind Teska. Wallish with the run, taken down again. A great defensive play there by Armstrong. Gagini in on that play.
That was an amazing play by Gagini. He smelled the play out. He came in. It was set up pretty well, but he did a nice job of just coming right behind the blockers and just making the play. It was a great job. Great individual tackle there.
Yeah, tackle for a 2-yard loss on that play. Sets up 3rd and goal from the 4. Teska once again trying to work that hard count.
Yeah, they're just trying to get them to show their hand. Armstrong's done a good job of being disciplined.
Teska looking to throw. Near sideline going for Rubricht, but just a little over his head there.
Boy,
as that'll bring down 4th.
Teska wishes he had that one back. He had the matchup he wanted. He had man-to-man at the bottom with his number 1 receiver, man-to-man. The coverage wasn't super tight. And the receiver did a great job, ran a great, almost like a fake slant and stop, and he just couldn't hit him. He'll make that throw 8 out of 10 times, I'm sure. He wishes he had that back. If you're Greensburg-Salem, that should be 6. If you're Armstrong, they dodged a bullet there.
And now on to attempt a field goal, Deshaun Alexander. The snap is good, and the kick is through. So 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Greensburg-Salem electing to just take the points there. Not a bad idea, as that extra point brought to you by UFP Parker. Visit ufpi.com/careers to find a job for you today.
And if you're Armstrong, that's a huge victory. That's a huge moral victory. They went down the field pretty easy. Very smooth drive if you're Greensburg-Salem. There wasn't a lot of glitches, only one minor penalty. They pretty much had what they wanted, but then they got inside the red zone. Armstrong did a great job of clamping down. That last pass, he should have hit that. Teske should have hit that, but he didn't hit that. So now if you're Armstrong, you walk away only giving up 3 points, looking ugly on defense. Now you can make your adjustments, and they get the ball in the second half. So if you're Armstrong, even though that's not exactly how you wanted it to start on defense, you're very happy with that result, and now you go to work on offense.
Yeah, once the times got tough, they got going, did the Armstrong defense. A great defensive stand at the goal line.
That tackle by Gagini was just clutch.
Absolutely, tackled him 2 yards behind the line there. But one thing that drive did do for Greensburg-Salem is eat a lot of time off the clock. We talked about that in the pregame show. Ball control. That took about 6 minutes off the clock. Here we're sitting at 6:01 left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, this drive is very important for Armstrong. You can't come out here and go 3 and out and give it back to them and let them possess the ball again. You can't let your defense get worn down as it did in the Hampton game. You gotta make sure you give that defense proper rest and get Olsen into a rhythm early.
Back to kick it away, it's Deshaun Alexander. That one booted deep. Looks like Isaiah Brown's going to be the return man. He breaks through one tackle, has a crease, past the 40 before being taken down right around the 45-yard line. And, we saw a great return by Rubricht in the opening drive for Greensburg-Salem. Armstrong answering right back with a great return of their own.
That was a great individual effort by Brown. It was well defended. He broke 3 tackles along the way, but the thing I like about it, he didn't dance around a lot. He found his lane, he hit his lane, broke a couple tackles, got a great field position here for the offense.
Yeah, Isaiah Brown with great size as a sophomore, 6'2", 195 on the depth chart. He's going to be a fun player to watch for years to come. Olsen in the gun, man going in motion there is Noah Shuttleworth. Olsen with a keeper on the play, goes off the tackle, slides down before contact, and that's a pretty good run to get us started here on first down.
There's that new world option, I call it, new world option by Olsen. In the spread, that's become what used to be in the wing tee and some of the traditional power eye offenses. The option now is different, but that is an option play. He's reading the linebackers. He's reading the flow, and that was another great read. And because now they have to respect the running game like they hadn't for a couple of games, now all of a sudden they got to go with that running back. Gives Olsen a nice lane.
Ball on the 48-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Olsen hands it off that time, and on the run it's Alex Patton, but he'll be stuffed, and maybe that's even a tackle for a loss on that play.
I'll tell you what, they did a great job that time. I think that was McChesney came in and did a great job, individual effort. He just blew up the block and came in and destroyed that play. That play didn't have a chance from the start.
3rd and 6 now, ball on the 49-yard line, excuse me. Olsen looking to the sideline as an audible comes in. 2 wide receivers split on either side of Olsen. Olsen gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looking downfield. He's going to throw the out route, and making the catch there is Noah Shuttleworth.
And that was a great throw by Olsen. Unlike Armstrong kind of playing back a little bit, 7 to 10 yards off, showing more of a zone look. Greensburg-Salem has come out looking to challenge these receivers. They're playing 4 or 5 yards off the ball. They were playing tight man there. Olsen did a great job of stepping in there. The receiver created some space, and Olsen put it right on him.
Actually, Jack Valasek on the last play. Patton with the carry, dragging defenders with him. He had Raekwon Rollins on his back there for about 5 yards before eventually being taken down.
When the general's running the ball, I'll tell you, most of the time at the end of one of his runs, there's 4 or 5 heels in the air. I mean, that guy he has a lot of power in the legs, drags defenders with him, but it shows the importance of the balance. They just came off of a nice pass play, makes them have a little more respect. Now you come back with a run.
Olsen gets the snap. Throws the quick screen out there to Isaiah Brown. He breaks one tackle, then falls forward, and that'll be good enough for another first down here. So these two teams showing that they can march down the field on their opening drives.
And that's an Armstrong staple, that little bubble screen. You bring out the sniffer or the tight end, and you get a block on the corner. You bring the receiver inside. He got just enough of the corner that time to give Brown a little separation, make a nice play.
1st and 10, ball in the 26. Trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. Olsen gets the snap. Fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. He has room and slides down to the turf before being taken down on the play by Kai Brunot.
And again, it shows you the respect that Patton has started to demand from these defenses. You know, Olsen's just reading the defense there. A nice patient fake to Patton. They go with Patton, so Olsen takes the 5, 6, 7 yards. If you're Fabian, you'd like to see him slide a little earlier, though.
Armstrong in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone here for 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 19-yard line. 2 wide receivers split on each side of your screen. Olsen faking the handoff, or no, he gives the handoff. And that's something we've seen on a couple plays on this drive, Ryan, is that kind of draw play with Olsen throwing the pump fake.
Right, but unlike last week, at least at the start of this game, one thing they're not doing is securing the middle of the line. We've seen now 2 or 3 times where Greensburg-Salem has had instant penetration up the middle of that line and been able to disrupt the running play before it even gets started. Last week, Armstrong was doing a great job of controlling that interior and making sure there was gaps. Looks like it might be a little tougher sledding this week.
Olsen lined up in the gun once again. Lone wide receiver at the bottom of your screen is Isaiah Brown. Quarterback draw on this play. Olsen has a lane and enough for a first down before being taken down. And what Armstrong's showing me here so far on this opening drive is they're committed to the run game.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, they are. They understand the balance is important. You know, you run early to set up the pass late. And in their case, because they're a passing team, you can do that. Sometimes running teams will come out and throw early. But Olsen, again, doing a great job of being patient, letting the blocking happen in front of him.
Olsen dropping back, screen pass to his running back. Catching that one is Patton. He breaks through for a Riverhawks touchdown. Armstrong able to answer back after the field goal by Greensburg-Salem with a touchdown. 1:34 left in the first quarter.
And I love the play call. I mean, Greensburg's definitely playing to defend the pass. They have a couple safeties deep. They're playing man under. So that time you get the running back lost. You catch him in a little bit of a blitz, and beautiful call in the situation. Nice job setting up the screen. Olsen again showing great leadership, great veteran ability. He was very patient with that. Looked it off, came back, hit him, and Patton able to go up and virtually get in the end zone untouched.
Hunter Reed in there to kick the UFP Parker extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. Or no, off the upright, excuse me. Looked good. Then I turned away for a second because it looked good, and that extra point off the mark.
And that's huge because Greensburg-Salem has shown an ability to make a field goal. They made a field goal in the opening possession. Now that brings them within a field goal of tying the game. So that's a huge miss if you're Armstrong. And you know the shame of it is plenty of leg on it. It just hit the pole, hit the upright.
While we have a second here, I'd like to thank our scoreboard sponsor for the night, TGIF Solutions, the official social media sponsor of High Top Sports Network and the home of the Shellhammer Atwood Agency, is proud to be tonight's official scoreboard sponsor. The experienced professionals at TGIF Solutions can assist you and your loved ones with any insurance need, no matter how big or small. TGIF Solutions specializes in all types of insurance, from auto, home, family, business, farm, and commercial. Visit TGIF Solutions or TGIF.Solutions to get your personalized quote today. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Blue collar quarterly drawing for quarter number 1 in tonight's game.
And once again, that last possession, I mean, you know, you talked about Greensburg-Salem coming out, possessing the ball, getting a nice possession, you know, consuming some time. Armstrong comes back and answers right back with the same type of drive. They took 4.5 minutes off the clock, gave their defense a chance to rest and recuperate and recover and go over what just happened and make their adjustments. So that was huge for Armstrong to come out. And also, I like the play calling. I like the play calling early, not forcing the ball deep, not trying to put the ball into tight windows deep. You know, the defense coming out, they're protecting against the pass. They're making things difficult. Even the couple completions, highly contested. So Armstrong did a good job of being patient in that drive, taking what the defense gave them, and just methodically moving down the field.
Yeah, both of these teams opening drives impressive here. I'm sure the coaching staff of the Golden Lions would have liked a touchdown instead of a field goal on their drive, but either way, they've both shown that they can push the ball downfield. As Teska lines up first and 10. Quick screen pass out to his wide receiver, and he's taken down right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe even, he might have gotten a yard on the play there, Ryan.
Now, see Armstrong making their adjustments. You know, last time they came out and kind of a soft look on coverage, giving the receiver some space. That time they showed the same type of coverage, but at the last second they came up into more of a press look, confused the offense. The bubble screen was eaten up.
Back switches sides. That's John Wallish. He's been the featured back tonight as Teska drops back, looks to throw. He's going to uncork the long ball to Rubricht, and he has it with room to run. Down inside the 25, inside the 10, and a touchdown. Another one in the books for Cody Rubricht.
That was just a breakdown in coverage. You had Brown running man, and you had the outside corner running a zone. Looked like the outside corner was running cover 2 zone, covering the flats. Brown's in man, covering the inside slot. The receiver, the number 1 receiver, goes totally free down the sidelines. That's just a broken down coverage. That's just lack of communication on the defense. What a huge play for Greensburg-Salem early.
Yeah, compared to their last drive where they milked the clock for 6 minutes, that one took no time at all, just 21 seconds off the clock after they got the ball back as the extra point is up, and that extra point brought to you by UFP Parker. Visit ufpi.com/careers to find a job that's right for you.
That was just another example of just the communication. The defenses, modern day defenses, even in high school, are very developed, very advanced. A lot of pattern matching, a lot of formation matching, and you have to make sure that everybody's on the same page with what they're seeing, because if not, then that's what happens. So you had a corner there, and he was reading that they should be in cover 2, so he's covering the flats. Then you have the inside guy covering the slot. He reads that it should be man-to-man, or he's got the call that it should be man-to-man. You have 2 guys in one area, and the number 1 receiver goes down open. So that was just somebody just had a bad read on defense there, but a huge early mistake for Armstrong, and what a huge play for Greensburg-Salem.
Yeah, Cody Rubricht not only scored his 8th touchdown, but now is over 600 yards, right around a little over 640 now. So the junior wide receiver having quite the year, and that might even be an understatement.
Yeah, that play, I'll tell you, once again, Armstrong, the coaching staff, they're probably livid. Somebody just had a bad read there. Somebody made a mistake there. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go into more of a basic coverage, look the next couple of possessions, get their legs under, get their confidence under them. And, they're far from out of this game, obviously, at only 10-6.
And the kick goes to the up man. Trying to see who got that ball. It was Kyan Klein. Some of these guys wearing different numbers out there than we're used to. Noah Shuttleworth trading in the 11 for 13. My personal favorite number. Always wore it when I played back in the day. So a little adjustment period for us up in the booth that got used to seeing these guys in their blue and orange numbers.
Well, camo works in the military, and it works on the field, too. It's tough for us to see these numbers.
First and 10 from the 43-yard line for Armstrong. Patton with the carry. He's going to drag even more defensive players with him before being taken down on the play there by Raekwon Wallens and company.
And, sometimes being an all-state quarterback isn't just about putting dimes down the sidelines 40 yards. That was a great job of Olsen of carrying out his fake, making them think pass after he handed off the ball, making it look like a typical RPO. And it really froze a couple of those linebackers and gave him a nice lane.
Olsen keeps it this time, spinning forward. He's taken down, but beyond the first down marker, so the Riverhawks pick up a first down here.
And there's the strength we talked about. I mean, obviously, your all-state quarterback, you don't exactly want him carrying the ball 35 times a game, But Olsen, with that lower body strength and with that nice big frame, 6'5", 205 pounds, after contact there, he had about 4 yards.
Well, that'll do it for the first quarter. So we're going to take a quick break here, hear from some of our wonderful sponsors on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night on High Top Sports Network. For Colton Henderson, Ryan Sprankle, I'm Jake DeLuca. We'll be right back after this quick message.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
And welcome back, everyone, to High Top Sports Network on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night. It's first down and 10 for the Riverhawks here. Ball at the 45. Olsen takes it again, looking for the pitch. He has it, and running with some speed is Patton. Patton taken out of bounds there by Matthew Wallace Jr., but
what a great job by Olsen there on the option. A lot of times you see, especially nowadays, quarterbacks tend to get rid of that ball too quick. They don't want to take that big hit, or they see the read and they get rid of it. That time Olsen did a nice job at just holding on to that ball a little extra second, half second, to give those linebackers a chance to suck in. That made a beautiful pitch, and once you get Patton going downfield, it's a nice situation.
Yeah, that's just how you draw it up there. Olsen with the handoff to Patton inside. He's going to be close to the ball. Now he's way further beyond the first down marker as Patton continues to carry defenders on his back. Got a little extra help from the O-line pushing him forward, but Alex Patton running angry tonight.
And that time you saw Armstrong look more like the Armstrong of last week, controlling the interior of the line of scrimmage, giving Patton a nice lane. And then once Patton gets going, he's kind of like the bus in a way, you know. Once he gets those legs going and gets those shoulders going downhill, he's a load to bring down. So nice job by the line there. Nice job of Patton finishing the run.
Yeah, Patton listed at 5'8", 200 pounds, so very bus-esque indeed. But while we have a timeout here, we're going to take a step away. Keep it locked on to High Top Sports Network. We'll be right back on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
And welcome back, everyone, here on the Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night. It's first and goal in the Ryan Bowser State Farm Red Zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser is there.
This is where you get that, this is where it becomes a chess game. Both teams waiting to the last minute to make their calls.
Olsen. Looked like that was a quarterback draw, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
And again, number 54, Billy McChesney, he has done a great job in this game. He's been the one interior lineman that has been able to get some consistent penetration. Once again, you get penetration up the middle like that, up the A gap, and it's awful hard to do anything.
Now a second and long situation here for the Riverhawks offense. Olsen in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Screen goes out to Brown. Brown puts his head down and bowls forward for a couple more yards. Stops just shy of the 5-yard line.
That was a great recovery tackle by Jaden Stevens there for Greensburg-Salem. Actually, Armstrong did a pretty nice job of engaging both of the defensive backs there. They got the screen that they wanted. They got the ball out cleanly. It looked like Brown was kind of going to be able to follow the convoy, but 13 did a nice job of coming out and pursuing and blowing up that play.
Ball on the 7-yard line, 10:25 to go in the first half. And it's going to be a timeout here for Armstrong. And so, once again, we're going to break away from the action for a moment to hear from some of our sponsors. Keep it locked on to High Top Sports Network. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. A flag thrown on the play out of the timeout called by Armstrong. Both of these teams using one timeout so far in the first half with 10:19.
And that is an absolute nightmare. You just took a timeout to recover, to take in what the defense was doing. You come out, you devise a play, you come up, and somebody makes a mental error with a false start. I mean, that is just a killer penalty, especially on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line. After that play backs them up 5 yards. Olsen gets the snap, quick pitch out to Patton. Patton trying to drag the defenders with him, but he'll be stopped well short of the goal line. Good tackle there by Jaden Stevens.
And that play pretty much dictates, well, it looks like they might kick this. I was going to say, normally with a play call like that on 3rd and goal, you're planning on going for it on 4th and goal. But looks like maybe they were just trying to set up a little better position for the field goal unit, because they obviously didn't see something that they wanted to do in the passing game, so they went with the option to the boundary side and got an extra 4 or 5 yards to put them in better field position. Caden
Olsen out to hold here for Hunter Reed. That snap low. Olsen just going to have to scramble around looking, throws it to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it. Are you kidding me?
What a play by Olsen. That ball was squibbed. It was a terrible snap. I don't know if it came off his heel or whatever. Olsen did a great job of gathering the ball and then retreating back. He retreated back 10 good yards. And with that, that's where the arm strength comes into play. He was able to, falling back from the 20, be able to throw the ball, a dart to the back of the end zone of Brown. And good heads up by Brown of understanding the drill, understanding the play, and getting to the back of the end zone. But that's just arm talent right there. That's all-state quarterback being an all-state quarterback.
The extra point is up. The UFP Parker extra point is up and good. Visit UFPI.com/careers for a job for you.
And that's a throw. That's a throw that maybe 3 quarterbacks in the state of Pennsylvania right now can make. Falling. First of all, it wasn't a design play.
No.
He was the snapper. He was the holder. He had the presence of mind to pick up the ball, which is tricky on a night like this. The ball's flying across the field. Picks it up, retreats backwards, and on a line, on a dart, throws the ball off his back foot from the 22-yard line to the back of the end zone, hits Brown as if it was a design play. There's about 3 quarterbacks in the state of Pennsylvania that can make that throw. Impressive arm talent there by Olsen.
Just when I think, there's nothing Olsen can do at this point to surprise me, because I've been watching him for the past 2 years now at the varsity level, and I thought I've seen it all, but you're right. Talk about arm talent there. Just a backyard football type of play. And kudos to Isaiah Brown as well for having the wherewithal and the knowledge to get open in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, not only did he release based on the situation, but he found that hole. He found the hole in the back of the end zone, and by the time the defense recovered, it was too late.
What a game we have already just in the first half. 9:35 left to go. As that one is booted away to the deep man. It goes over his head, and he'll let it roll into the end zone. But if you ask me, I think Raekwon Rollins wanted a chance to return that one.
Oh, he wanted a chance to return that. That was just a great job, again, with that squibbish mid-range kick that they everybody seems to be doing now. Now, he didn't get that as far to the sidelines as he would like, but because it was on the plane it made it very difficult to field. And even if he would have fielded that, his eyes wouldn't have been downfield. He wouldn't have been able to see the lane. So great job there of putting the ball in a position where it was very difficult to return.
Both of these teams 2 for 2 on their offensive possession, scoring points.
They have 2 high-powered offenses. That's what you're expecting.
Handoff goes to Raekwon Wallens, and he maybe didn't get to return the kick, but that was a pretty decent run there on first down.
Oh, he ran with some authority there. Nice little slot around there, a little sweep action. That's become the modern sweep. You used to have, the T formation, and you run that Packer sweep. This is the modern day Packer sweep. They run it from the slot. And with a guy like that, he can break it. That was a good job of Armstrong not allowing that to become a bigger game.
Yeah, that was a lot of speed coming out of the backfield from Rollins. That handoff goes up the middle and is stuffed immediately as John Wallish will have nowhere to go there.
One thing I've noticed, Armstrong has made an adjustment versus that first drive when they came out in kind of that soft coverage, kind of that 44 look, just kind of like seeing what the offense is going to do. The last couple of plays, the defense has been dictating what the offense is going to do, playing pretty tight man-to-man there and bringing some pressure.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We've seen, before the game started, we talked a little bit about Rashad Kennedy, who was this team's leading rusher in Greensburg-Salem, but we haven't seen him in the game yet. It's just been John Wallish getting the carries here tonight. So
you got to wonder if maybe an injury of some sort happened in practice. I would say on a night like this, you're going to put your best soldiers up on the front line.
Tesk in the gun, waits for the snap. 2 wide receivers on either side, looking near sideline, gets the pass complete that time to Donovan Waller.
And there, Teska showed that he can put the ball into tight windows, too. That wasn't bad coverage at all down there by Valasek. And Teska just was a stop route. He put it right on the numbers. Just a great job with timing. And again, showing that he can also advance the ball with pretty good velocity.
8:15 left in the second quarter. 3rd down and 5. Ball placed on the Greensburg-Salem 35-yard line. Neither of these defenses so far have been able to stop the opposing offense. Armstrong with a big 3rd down here. In the backfield, that's Kai Brunot. And that's going to be thrown over the middle. Great defense there. A beautiful pass breakup by Noah Shuttleworth.
What a play by Shuttleworth. They had what they wanted. They had man coverage. They had a height differential there on the seam route. And Teska, maybe Teska underthrows that slightly. If he puts it out in front a little bit more, I don't think it's as easily to defend. But what a great individual play by Shuttleworth. Get his hands around there cleanly without interfering. And a big stop by Armstrong.
Yeah, and if you look at it, Shuttleworth giving up a little size to Rubrick, but played big, got the vert to get up there and break that play up. Crucial 3rd down. Stop by Armstrong as there's a flag down as this return is going for a good bit as Chrisman takes it across the 35, but I think we're going to get either a hold or a block in the back here, Ryan.
He tried to come at him from the side there, but definitely you could see that the shoulder pad got turned. That was a pretty easy call for the official. Unfortunate for Armstrong, but solid call. And going back to that last play by Shuttleworth, we talked earlier about quarterbacks wanting to have one back. Teska earlier, he missed the receiver in the corner of the end zone. He had a ball that he'll put on probably 8 out of 10 times. Missed him a little high, and that little differential was the difference between 7 points and 3. He probably expects to make that throw. Again there, that was not a bad throw. He had his receiver down the seam. He had the matchup that he wanted, but he wasn't able to put it out in front of him enough to give that receiver a chance to use his size, use his extension to separate himself from Shuttleworth. So it enabled Shuttleworth to make the play. So right now, if you're Teska, you had 2 throws right now that you expect to make that you didn't make. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to that.
Riverhawks will line up with the ball on the 22-yard line, their own 22-yard line. Handoff goes off the right side there. Doesn't look like a gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up now.
No, they did a nice job there. Greensburg-Salem did of just just stuffing it up. They absorbed all the blocks. It's so important for defensive tackles, especially against these RPOs, against these spread offenses. You don't want to give seams, so you don't want to over pursue upfield. You want to absorb blocks more, and they did a great job there of taking on all the blocks, letting the linebackers fill the hole.
Olsen awaits the snap in the gun. 2 wide receivers split on either side of him. I believe that's Chrisman in the backfield alongside Olsen. Hard to tell. Olsen faking the handoff. He's going to uncork a long ball for Isaiah Brown, and Brown spinning to come down with it. On the coverage on that play was Matthew Wallace Jr.
And what a great read by Olsen there. He saw the coverage. He saw that cover 2 coverage. He let Brown release past the corner, and then he did a great job of keeping that ball away from the safety, driving the ball to the back shoulder, and taking what the defense gave him instead of trying to hit him in stride and giving the safety a chance to make a play.
Olsen once again in the gun. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen bunched. Pump fake by Olsen. He makes the defense bite. He's going to take it far sideline. Has a lane. Going to take it across the 40 to the 35, inside the 30 before being taken down. And Olsen showing off the wheels on that play. Everybody thought bubble screen to Isaiah Brown on the near sideline. Olsen turns it up the opposite side of the field for a big-time gain.
That was another one of those fake bubble screens. They come out, they've thrown the bubble screen 2 or 3 times. Now they try to fake it and go deep, challenge them vertically. Did a good job of not forcing things, but goes to show all the offseason work working out because he used his legs, used the strength, used the speed that he didn't have last year, and took the field side and made a great gain.
Yeah, last year you could tell that was a kid that's 6'5" and just grew that much overnight, and pretty much this year it's grown into his body a lot, and you can see it with the speed displayed on that last play as the carry goes up the middle and dragging tacklers with him. Alex Patton once again. I should have known without even having to look at the number by the way he just ran the ball, Ryan.
Again, heels flying. Defenders heels flying. Patton moving his shoulders downhill. He wears the defense out. Going back to Olsen, though, people think All-State quarterback, he's just out thrown into tires. No, I mean, he does a ton of agility work. He's on an AAU basketball team. He's a great basketball player, very athletic.
Olsen lining up 2nd and 2, fakes the handoff to Patton. Quick little pass out off the hands of Connor Segola and picked off there by Matthew Wallace Jr. And that's not what Armstrong had planned at all there, Ryan.
No, we talked about Olsen having great patience, and right there, he put it on him. It should have been caught by Segola, but at the same time, Olsen's been doing a great job in this game of just taking what the defense gives him and avoiding traffic throws. That time he put it into a little bit of a tighter window in the interior of the field. And, sometimes when you do that, you're going to get them bobbing around. That being said, Segola expects to make that catch. But when you throw into a tight area like that, anything can happen. And good job by Greensburg-Salem of taking advantage of the ricochet and coming down with the ball.
Yeah, Wallace Jr., right place, right time for that deflection. As now the Golden Lions offense sets up 1st and 10, ball on their own 22-yard line. Teska gets the snap, and then a drop that time by Donovan Waller.
And that's a big drop by Waller. You have a quarterback that's missed a couple throws that he expects to make, and this time he put it with authority. It was a little behind him, but really, he put it on him for the most part. He put it on him, and that's a ball you got to catch. That was an instance of receiver looking downfield before he secured the ball. You're told that as a youth. Coaches, it's a mistake that people make from the time they're 5 to the time that they're in Super Bowls. They get the ball, they take that catch for granted, they don't secure the ball.
2nd down at 10. Clock at 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Man in motion on the play is Jaden Stevens. Teska gets the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. And Wallace with a big lane there. Picks up the 1st down, but the ball is on the turf.
Can't be advanced.
Either way, it looks like Greensburg-Salem will keep the ball as it looked like Jaden Stevens popped up with it.
That was a well-designed play by Greensburg-Salem. They had a little bit of backfield motion, and then they come back against the motion with a counter, let the blocking develop, and it creates a nice seam up the middle. He used his quickness to get upfield. Once again, though, you got to secure the ball in games like this because these teams are looking to strip. Armstrong almost came up with a huge play there, but good job, good awareness by Greensburg-Salem recovering that.
Teska gets the snap. He fires it on the far sideline, and that one is going to be incomplete.
Pass intended for Tony Rubrick. Pass broken up by Lane Hepner.
Lane Hepner with the pass break up there.
That was a great play by Hepner. He did a great job of breaking on the route. That was a good throw. That time, Teska put it out there right where he wanted it. It was a good read because he was playing off a little bit, but he came back, and Hepner did a great job of just breaking that ball up the last second.
Teska once again in the gun, and I think we're going to have a little movement before the snap. And that will back up the Greensburg-Salem offense 5 yards on the false start.
It's funny, penalties so far really haven't hurt either team too badly, except for the one time, last time Armstrong had the ball in the red zone, it kind of stalled the drive a little bit, but it wasn't a killer. They've been able to overcome the penalties, but in games like this, you don't want to give the other team 5 yards here and there. I mean, there's just not that margin for error.
Man coming across in motion for Greensburg-Salem. Handoff goes up the left side to Wallish, and he's
what a play out there. That's a blocky. What a play by Zablocki out there. He read the ball very well. That was a tricky play for a linebacker because they had a sweep look coming from the slot. Nice job. They showed sweep and then they counter against it. Zablocki did a great job of being disciplined and then attacking, getting downhill, and making the play for a loss.
Yeah, in the first two drives that Armstrong was on defense, they didn't look as tight. They didn't look as comfortable out there. Now, another 3rd and long and another chance for them to get the ball back for their offense. Teska dropping back, throw to the far sideline, and right there to blow that play up for the Riverhawks.
That was a nice play by Jacobs. Very nice play by Jacobs. You know what? That was good man coverage. The receiver tried to drive Jacobs off and come back to the ball. Jacobs didn't bite. He played strong the whole time. He broke on the ball nicely, instantly tackled him. And once again, they stopped him. I mean, stops are huge in games like this when you have offenses that, don't get stopped very often. If you could make a couple stops here and there, it can really turn the tide, especially for Armstrong, given that they're going to get the kickoff in the second half. That's huge. That's a huge stop there. If they can possess the ball here and kill the half with a score, that's going to be huge because they're going to be able to flip the charts and turn right around and have the ball again in the second half.
And the Golden Lions kicking this one out of bounds, not giving Armstrong a chance to return it. That'll set up now a 1st and 10 for the Riverhawks. As we wait to see where they're going to spot the ball, it's going to be right around that 30-yard line in Armstrong territory.
And now if you're Armstrong, you just want to come out and you want to get a good, solid drive going. You want to continue to use the balance that you've shown so far. Olsen's done a nice job of just taking what the defense gives them. Last time he tried to fit into a little tight of a window. I don't think you'll see that in this drive.
1st and 10, Olsen with the handoff up the middle. There is a bit of room to run there as Patton spins off a tackle before being taken down.
And once again, that interior of the offensive line gave him a nice seam to start. And if you give that guy a seam, one thing Patton's shown us over the last 2 weeks, you give him a seam and you give him a 3-yard head start. He is, once he gets those legs grinding, we said it earlier, it's like watching Jerome Bettis. Once he gets those legs churning, it is tough to take him down. That time he broke a tackle and it took 3 more defenders to bring him to the turf.
A new set of downs here, 1st and 10, ball on the 42. Olsen will keep it himself, trying to bounce it out to the far side, but nowhere to run there as he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 2 or 3 yards.
And that was a nice job, Teska in pitching terms, helping himself there. Olsen, once again, with that option in the backfield, decides to keep off the fake, off the RPO fake to, off the fake. He kept it off the fake, and Teska did a nice job of fighting through that good stiff arm and making the tackle.
Olsen lined up now in the gun, dropping back to pass, looking downfield over the middle, and another interception. A great play by the Greensburg-Salem defense as with it now is Raekwon Rollins breaking through tackles before being taken down at the right around the 32-yard line. Some flags thrown down on the field.
And you know what? They were all man coverage all around. No safety in the middle. Olsen read it right. He made the proper throw. He put it on the money. Just a great job by Greensburg-Salem of at the last second getting enough inside position to get a hand on the ball, tip it in the air. And once you tip it in the air, if you have some athletic defensive backs around, anything can happen. And one thing Greensburg-Salem has shown us, they obviously have run a couple tip drills in practice, because once that ball goes in the air, they are looking for it, and that was the second time they've been able to secure it. Really, there's nothing else you're going to do on offense. If you're Olsen, made the right read, stepped into it, made a great throw down the seam. Just a great individual last-second play by the defensive back of getting his hand around, get enough on that tip to put it in the air. And when you put a ball in the air in the middle of the secondary, anything can happen. It was a great reactive job by Greensburg-Salem there. Unfortunate for Armstrong.
Yeah, 2 great tip drill interceptions for this Greensburg-Salem team in the first half. And I want to give credit to Cody Rubrick for getting his hand in there and popping the ball out. And, Rollins right there to pick it off.
That was a heck of a play, because it was a great throw, and the receiver had position, and he just did a great job of getting in there at the right time without interfering. Clean play, and unfortunate break for Armstrong, but a huge opportunity for Greensburg-Salem, because they got a great passing attack, and they got 238 now. They're approaching this a little slower than I would expect. I'd expect them to show a little more urgency with the play calling. I mean, already 22 seconds have been taken off the clock here before the snap. Not sure exactly what the game plan is here.
Teska dropping back to throw. He's going to look for the long ball, looking that time for Donovan Waller, but overthrowing him on that attempt.
And you know what? He had him. He had what he wanted there. The receiver had a step. He just put it, it's such a fine line as a quarterback, between driving the ball and putting a little more air under, depending on the situation. That time, he would probably like to have put a little more air under it, let his receiver outrun the coverage and make a play on it instead of trying to drive it in on a line.
Caden Olsen out there on defense. Haven't seen that very often. He's on the far side of your screen, kind of in that slot corner.
Well, you know what? When the
safety.
team's trying to make a three-pointer.
Another long shot, and that one in between the hands of his intended receiver, going back to Waller. Good coverage on the play there, though, by Isaiah Brown.
That was a good throw, a good route. Brown just did a great job of covering a ton of yardage there, covering a ton of space. He came the whole way from the middle of the field and just put a great hit on the receiver at the perfect time to dislodge the ball. Once again, though, with Brown's athleticism, you would have hoped maybe that he makes a play on that ball versus the big hit. And by the way, he's a little shaken up on the sidelines. I think he'd probably agree with me at this point. But again, outstanding play. Coming over and breaking that up, that's a huge play. That could have been a big momentum swing.
Yeah, the clock ticking now, but we still have 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second quarter, as that one returned maybe for a couple of yards by Connor Segola.
And again, that was mismanagement by Greensburg-Salem. They came out and you could tell they didn't really know whether they wanted to try to go for a drive or just kill the clock. So they kind of were in that no man's land. And then they came out, and by the time they had a play call, a couple incompletions, now you're giving it back to an all-state quarterback that really has been throwing the ball well. The 2 interceptions are not representative of how he's throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball with confidence tonight. Now with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left, you give him a chance to drive down the field, get a score, and then once again they get the ball in the second half. So Greensburg-Salem, this is a very critical drive for the defense of Greensburg-Salem.
Trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. Olsen in the gun. Fake handoff. He's going to keep it himself, looking to bounce it to the near side, but he gets swallowed up immediately. A bunch of Golden Lions right in the vicinity of that run.
And again, 54 making the play. Greensburg-Salem, you can tell they've made a decision. They've seen enough of the Olsen show running the football. They had 2 or 3 guys just following him no matter what he did, and they blew up the play. It'll be interesting to see if they continue with that.
Yeah, you mentioned number 54, Billy McKenzie. He's been having a great game defensively as Olsen uncorks the long ball. Jump ball, and did he come down with it? He did! Isaiah Brown with another circus catch. Holy moly.
I'll tell you, that catch was unbelievable. It reminded me of Lynn Swann in the Super Bowl, literally propelling himself over the corner and catching the ball over the man's head. Unbelievable play by Brown.
Great call there, Ryan. That's exactly what it looked like. You saw him just try and scoop that ball
up.
Like
Like Lynn Swann against the Dallas Cowboys. He just went up, propelled himself over the defender, caught the ball. Beautiful, beautiful.
Minute 10 left. Olsen with the handoff. It's going to the left side. Taken down is Patton after a gain of about 4 or 5.
And once again, they gouge them deep, so they come back with a body punch with the general. And just now, if you're Greensburg-Salem, you don't know what to defend. I mean, you're a little on your heels right now. Be interested to see if they come up with another play, another drive stopper. How many of those can you come up with? I guess.
Yeah, the clock continues to tick here. Armstrong still with 2 timeouts, however, in the half. 40 seconds left. Olsen gets the snap, hands it off once again to Patton. He goes up the right side that time and is taken down for a short gain. That'll bring us up to third and about mid-distance here.
Greensburg-Salem showing a lot of team speed. Seems like anything to the boundary side of the field, anything where they're trying to go wide, it seems like Greensburg-Salem is really flying to the ball. It seems like when Armstrong's had the most success has been on screens or just punching it right up the middle versus going wide. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of success going wide with that team speed on defense.
Riverhawks taking their second timeout of the half. And while we have a moment, I want to tell you about Steffi's Country Catering. With over 40 years of experience, Steffi's Country Catering provides sumptuous home-cooked meals served by a friendly, professional staff to make your next event worry-free. Ask about their grazing tables and 3-tier cheese ball cakes. Be sure to order some homemade cheese balls or try their extra fresh meat and cheese or pickle and olive plates. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Terra are available by order, and be sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly Sunday takeout specials. Whether it's for a Friday night football tailgate, a family event, or just a fantastic meal, Steffi's Country Catering has food the whole family will love. Mention High Top Sports Network and receive a special 10% off discount when you book your next event at Steffi's Country Catering. That takes us now to third down and about 6 to go.
And again, for about the 12th time, we have a very big down inside the red zone.
Shuttleworth in motion. Little confusion there. Olsen dropping back, throws off his back foot to the back. Patton dragging defenders with him, but he's going to be about a yard short of that first down marker.
And that was a great individual play by Stevens. He did a great job there shutting the block. Armstrong got what they wanted. There was a blitz coming. They had the screen going away from the blitz. The blocking was set up downfield. He just did a great job. Stevens did of breaking through that block, throwing that block to the side, making a great individual play because Armstrong had a touchdown set up there. That was a great individual stop there.
And while we have another timeout here, I want to tell you about Phoenix Physical Therapy in Katanning. Life is all about motion, so orthopedic injuries are they're just a part of life. Phoenix Physical Therapy in Rural Valley and Katanning will help you recover, recharge, and rise to new heights after an injury by creating a program focused on you. Your life should be pain-free and filled with activities that you love, and with the help from Phoenix, you can get there. Schedule 24/7 online at phoenixphysicaltherapy.com or call today to make your appointment.
Hey, going back to that play Brown made on the sidelines, what confidence Olsen showed putting the ball up there. He knew he had the one-on-one matchup he wanted with, arguably his most athletic receiver, and he did a great job of putting the ball up there. Didn't lay it out there for him in the traditional sense, but gave him a chance to make a play, put enough air under it for him to make a play. And I'll tell you, Brown, that catch was the best catch I've seen in high school football this year so far. I mean, that was a level 10 catch Brown made there to give them a chance at this field goal.
Wouldn't be surprised here if you see Armstrong maybe up. I think we're going to have another timeout here, this time by Greensburg-Salem. You saw Armstrong come out kind of bunched together in a huddle at the line of scrimmage before they broke off. Wouldn't have been surprised if we saw them try and get the defense to jump.
I'm surprised that they aren't at least there. They've shown that they're not gonna try to kick a field goal. They've shown that they can kick field goals with pretty good consistency. I know that last snap wasn't very good, but right now being up by 3 points, that extra field goal is a big deal. Where if you don't get it here and you're only up by 3 points, Greensburg-Salem has shown an ability to kick a field goal from outside of decent range. So if you don't get this, then all this work in the last minute and a half kind of is for naught, even though you get the ball in the second half. I feel like if you're Greensburg-Salem and you get a stop here, you're feeling pretty good about yourself because first quarter was pretty even. This quarter, I feel like Armstrong, if this was a boxing match, I feel like round 1 was a draw, and round 2, I'd have to give it to Armstrong on the point side. So if you can go into the half as Greensburg-Salem down 3 after this especially his last 3 or 4 minutes, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Armstrong out of timeouts. Greensburg-Salem still with 20 seconds left on the clock. First down and goal from the 9-yard line. It's a run up the middle. The Riverhawks going to have to hurry back to the line of scrimmage here, Ryan.
And once again, it's like Armstrong's trying to call back plays of all the famous Super Bowl plays. That time it's almost like the Fridge Perry Chicago Bears 85 Bears play, where you just bring the fridge in, give it to him, and see what he can do. It didn't work the way they wanted to, but at the same time, maybe they're trying to get it in a position for a field goal.
Athletic complex on Military Appreciation Night.
Armstrong and the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone, like a good neighbor. Ryan Bowser is there.
Thank you for supplying the.
And this is the toughest spot for an offense to score from. You know, you're inside the 5-yard line. The defense has far less yardage and area to cover that they do on a normal basis. So there's not the windows you're used to dealing with. You kind of have to use misdirection and a little trickery sometimes to create a lane.
Yeah, very well said, Ryan.
This
Things
is where
get a
you'll
little
see,
tighter inside
yes,
that goal line.
Yes, and this is where you'll see a lot of times teams will come out on the defensive side and play like a press man, and you'll see like the Patriots used to run with Brady, where you get a lot of rub routes. You get two guys running ins and another guy running outs. It's like a legal form of picking. You'll see a lot of that down in this section because you have to do something as an offense to create space because it's not there naturally.
And while we still have a moment here before we get out of this timeout, I'd like to thank a place near and dear to your heart, Ryan, Sprankle's Neighborhood Market in Katanning.
Hashtag save on meat.
Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, located at 151 North McKean Street in downtown Katanning, is proud to be tonight's official broadcast sponsor and is a steadfast supporter of Armstrong Athletics. Check out Sprankle's newly remodeled storefront and stop in for all your favorites, including the freshest cuts of quality meat, a family tradition since 1999. Sushi Madness on Wednesdays, just $5 for great sushi. Make sure to follow, like, and share Sprankle's Neighborhood Market on Facebook as well. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us. Olsen rolls out to his left, pass to the end zone, and Isaiah Brown coming down with yet another touchdown here. Have yourself a game, young fella.
And, you know, that was just playmaker on playmaker. Both teams were satisfied with putting their best athlete outside, man-to-man. It was Brown against Rubrick. And, you know, Brown won that matchup. He got the separation he needed. It was a great play call. I love when they get the quarterback outside the pocket in those situations. They got Olsen outside the pocket. Got a little pressure on him, but he did a nice job of standing in there, of getting outside, staying with it, waiting for Brown to make that move, and then putting it right on him. But a great job by Brown of winning that man-to-man matchup. Both teams were okay with it, and you know what? Our guy beat that guy. That's what that was about. If you're Armstrong, that's what happened there. And if you're Greensburg, that's devastating because now, all of a sudden, in a key play of the game, you just went down by 2 scores. They get the ball in the second half. Your best athlete just got beat by their best athlete. So that's a big, big, big momentum boost for Armstrong and deflation for Greensburg-Salem going into the half.
Hunter Reed able to make the extra point as well, the UFP Parker extra point. Visit ufpi.com/careers for a job that's meant for you. But yeah, you said it, just a very impressive drive and kind of deflating for Greensburg-Salem as well. As you mentioned, Armstrong getting the ball coming into the second half.
And now if you're Armstrong, you want to make sure that above all, you keep momentum here. You want to put this kick, you want to strategically place this kick somewhere where it's almost unreturnable. You're actually okay with kicking it out of bounds in this situation. The last thing you want is some big splash play on special teams to flip the momentum going into that half. And if you're Greensburg-Salem, you're thinking the opposite. You're aggressive with this. You're picking up a ball you might normally pick up, and you're trying to make a play with it. So this is a big play too.
And the kick will bounce at around the 20 and is returned. Taking it up the far sideline is Rubricht.
And I'm surprised that Armstrong chose to kick down the middle of the field there and let them set that up. But they did a nice job of maintaining their lanes and limiting what Greensburg-Salem could do.
And, hey, you got a quarterback like Hayden Teska, ball placed at right around the 30-yard line. I don't know if he can throw it necessarily 70 yards, but just let him throw it as far as he can here. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time in this situation, you're not going to see that because he's never going to get it there. But, you know, you'll see some form of maybe a reverse. You know, there they just decided to run a little counter and go into the half and talk about things. But you talk about momentum. Pretty even half up until the last 5 or 6 minutes of the second half. Then Armstrong made a couple big plays, which, looked like Greensburg-Salem was going to get the momentum because they had those 2 interceptions. But Armstrong flipped the tables on them, flipped the script, took the momentum, and took a 10.2 score lead going into the half, and they get the ball second half. So if you're Armstrong, you're feeling real good about yourselves right now. If you're Greensburg-Salem, you can see it's a slow march off the field. They're wondering about what could have been. Some missed throws that they normally make that they didn't make, some turnovers they didn't take advantage of, and then giving up that touchdown there on that 4th and goal from the 4. Just disheartening if you're Greensburg-Salem.
And while we wait for the marching bands to come out, I implore all of you to stick around and hear these 2 talented marching bands as they prepare to take the field. They work diligently and put in a lot of hours to make their performances as great as they are. And of course, the halftime sponsor today is Olson Chiropractic. When the aches and pains of everyday life have you stuck on the sidelines, make sure to visit the caring professionals at Olson Chiropractic at 159 Butler Road, Suite 2A in West Katanning. Dr. Ryan Olson and his experienced staff will get you back into the game in no time. As now we pause for Greensburg-Salem and their marching band.
Student officers are Logan Fox, Sean Stokovich, and Patrick Melvin and Michaela Walker. Our show this week is entitled Swinging with the Big Guns. Our first selection is inducted in the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1980. And the Library Foundation National Report and Registry in 2003. There's some existing melodies from the time. Joe Garland wrote the arrangement that was first recorded on August 1st, 1939. Featuring our saxophone section, including solos, Chris Adams, and Max Lengus. This is the Glenmore Classic, In the Mood. We conclude our show with a selection that was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1982. Written by Louis Prima, it was performed on January 16, 1948 at Carnegie Hall, New York City. The first concert of its kind at that famous venue, and has been described as the single most important jazz concert in history. The band leader that night was Benny Goodman, who would go on to earn the title The King of Swing. We feature our grandma, trumpet soloist Logan Fox, and the entire band in the always rousing Sing, Sing, Sing. The band is under the leadership of Director Jamie West and Assistant Walter Hunter. Our head percussion instructor and assistants are Ryan Gross, Lee Paris, and Stephen Skosky, respectively. Color guard instructors are Donna Myers and Amanda Rushchuk. Our dance team instructor is Chelsea Polk. Join us tomorrow in historic Lincoln area as we march down Main Street in the Fort Winter Days Parade.
Armscare, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Armscare can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Armscare offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Armscare at 724-545-3200 today.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom
Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band Halftime Show. Tonight for your listening viewing pleasure, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band will be performing for you this year's halftime show, 88 Keys, as we feature popular piano artists with Billy Joel's Piano Man and Just the Way You Are, Beethoven's Release, and Elton John's Your Song. Under the student leadership of drum major Emma Lindahl, card captains Dan Pacosnak and Ashley Rimmel, and drumline co-captains Ava Matanzio and Matthew McFaffrey. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, enjoy the popular piano music this evening as the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band appears to be ready for its halftime performance. Drum major Emma Lindahl, is your band ready?
And then they clamp down when it mattered towards the field goal.
Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band, the field is yours for performance. Now that the band is tuned up, we continue our show this evening as the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band performs one of Ludwig van Beethoven's most famous compositions with Release. With a song from his second album that came out in 1970 with Your Song. To close our halftime show this evening, we go back to recognize another legendary piano artist, Billy Joel, by performing his main single from his 1977 album, The Stranger, with Just the Way You Are.
The offensive line, the entire offensive line, we named everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band! The Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Jason Vanesky. This year's Marching Band staff consists of Assistant Director, Mrs. Melissa Vanesky, Guard Instructors, Mrs. Sarah Smith and Mrs. Courtney Allen, Drumline Instructor, Mr. Rob Reeves, Marching Instructor, Mr. Jason Pagoda, Woodwind Instructor, Mrs. Charlene Pagoda, Brass Instructor, Mr. Pat Kavanaugh, and Marching Instructor and the voice of the Riverhawks Marching Band, Mr. Jake Kiyosh. This year's halftime drill was designed by Mr. Robert Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band would like to thank you for your kind attentiveness this evening. Go Hawks!
The second half, they're going to help them around. That's only going to open up the other
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, hashtag Save on Meat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, every day fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best Of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ryan Bowser in Ford City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Ford City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Just finished.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ryan Bowser in Ford City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Armscare, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Armscare can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Armscare offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Armscare at 724-545-3200 today.
And welcome back, everyone, to High Top Sports Network on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night here on HTSN. Hashtag Save on Meat, as that opening kickoff is dropped, picked back up by Brown, and he takes it across the 10.
And the big error there by Brown. Now, once again, we've been talking about the strategy of the kickoffs. That was a perfectly executed kickoff. He kicked it right into the corner the way he wanted to, at the trajectory he wanted. Tough ball to field, especially when you're trying to look upfield and pick out a lane. So tough play for Brown there. But to his credit, he was able to recover and keep it from becoming a catastrophe for Armstrong. So here we go. You got Greensburg-Salem down 20-10. They come out in the second half. They have a chance to pin Armstrong deep, maybe make a play. If you're Armstrong, you want to dictate the pace of the second half right away and, put these guys away, so to speak, emotionally. So big drive here for both teams.
Yeah, and a score here from Armstrong would, like you said, almost kind of put them away. Olsen in the gun, two wide receivers split on each side. Olsen going to pitch it back to the back. It's Patton, I believe, as he cuts it back. Goes across the 20, tackled down right around the 22-yard line. Nice run there on first down.
And once again on the option, that's the second time Olsen's done a great job of waiting to the last minute to release that ball to the running back, enabling him to kind of suck in the defense to himself, release the ball to the running back, and allow Patton to get downfield. Now, Olsen took a pretty good shot there. I don't know if you want to run that play 10 or 12 times with your all-state quarterback every game, but
second down and 1. Olsen with another handoff. This one going past the first down marker, and he'll be tackled right around the 28-yard line.
And once again, you got Patton getting his pads downhill. The line did a nice job of just creating a crease of about 3 yards. He got that 3 yards, and once again, he's just that runner. He's that bus-style runner that once he gets his pads moving downfield, gets those legs churning, he is a load to bring down, low center of gravity. It took 3 or 4 guys again to bring him down.
So a new set of downs here for the Riverhawks. Trips wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Olsen with another handoff. This one with a bit of room there. Patton breaking one tackle with the stiff arm before being forced out of bounds.
Great job at downfield blocking by Armstrong there. And that was the first time we've seen Armstrong be able to go wide with the ball on a sweeping motion and get outside yardage. It's the first time we've seen that. Greensburg-Salem had done a great job of flying to the ball, keeping everything inside. That was the first time they were able to run the ball outside.
Ball spotted on the 45-yard line. Patton with another carry. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but able to fall forward. Nice tackle there by Jaden Stevens for Greensburg-Salem.
That was a nice hit by Stevens. We've seen him make a couple nice plays tonight. That was a great job of turning it in and making the play. You're always trained to turn those sweeps, turn those counters inside to your help. But it's even better as a coach when you get a guy that can turn it and make the play like Stevens can.
Trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. Lone wide receiver at the bottom is Isaiah Brown. Olsen looks to the sideline, gets the audible, and now awaits the snap. Fakes the handoff, looking deep for Brown. He's going to uncork this one. Brown has his man beaten. He goes up and makes another absolutely ridiculous play. This has been the Isaiah Brown show today, Ryan.
Brown is playing out of his mind tonight. We're seeing a healthy Isaiah Brown out there. We're seeing what Isaiah Brown is capable of. And, you know, you're not going to cover him man-to-man on a night like this. I am shocked that they haven't given them help yet on the outside. As many times as he's hurt them, I'm surprised they haven't given him help. Now you can see they're going with more of a bracket coverage look.
Olsen hands it off, that time to Patton. And he's able to get a couple yards here on 1st and goal inside the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone.
We've seen good initial coverage from Greensburg-Salem on the corners against Brown on almost every play. He hasn't beat them vertically. What's happening, though, is that Olsen's reading that. He's reading that they're playing them. They're playing against the long ball, so to speak. So he's throwing back shoulders. We've seen back shoulders executed, and we've seen a couple jump balls that Olsen's just giving him a chance to make the play, and he's made the play. And once again, we're seeing a man look. They're trusting their corners against Brown, and so far he's made them pay almost every time.
Once again, trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. Man in motion for Armstrong. And Olsen will take this right up the gut, fall forward. And I think they stopped him just short of the goal line. But Olsen exploding out of the backfield for that run.
Just a design power with the quarterback. You had the receiver in motion, and you had the running back both acting as lead blockers. Basically, it's an old power eye, just power play off the tackle there. And the line did a nice job of opening up a gap. His lead blockers went out in front. And again, it just goes to show you the confidence and the running ability of Olsen this year, along with being a world-class, at least in the high school ranks, thrower. His legs have really created a lot of opportunities for Armstrong this year in balance. Here's that Fridge Perry look.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. And taking it in. Trying to see who that was down there. Numbers getting harder and harder to see the darker it is.
73.
And Julius Barnes.
And that's the second time Armstrongs went with that play. They basically put Olsen out wide or had him off the field. They bring in Barnes, direct snap, and it's just power on power. Our guy's bigger, stronger than your guys are. And it's like just sending a bowling ball down through the middle of the frame there. They just aren't able to bring him down. Now, the first time that they tried that earlier, they were able to make the play, but not this time.
Hunter Reed on to attempt the UFP Parker extra point. He gets it up, and that one wide right.
And that was an amazing job by Ian Olsen, the holder. Again, we had an errant snap on the kick, just like we'd seen earlier on that broken play that Olsen executed. This time, his little brother Ian Olsen did a great job of putting that ball into position to be kicked, because that was an inside and turf burner of a snap, and he did a great job of getting that ball into position nicely for the kick, because that's a big point. You never know what's going to happen the rest of this game, and every point matters when you have an uneven score like this.
That drive, 3 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock, sitting at 8:07 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And now this series becomes almost a must score for Greensburg-Salem. They have to get some points here. Even if, you'd rather have a touchdown, but even if they can get a field goal here, something to get at least some momentum going and cut this lead down a little bit. Because right now, Armstrong's starting to roll on offense. They're running the ball, they're throwing the ball, their playmakers are making plays. You haven't really stopped any facet of the game, so if they can't score somehow here, it's going to be very hard to come back and win this game. So this is, for Teska, this is a big moment for him. This is a moment where he has to take over the team. He has to lead his team down the field and create somehow, some way, get in the end zone.
The kick is away. It will be taken by Raekwon Rollins. Rollins cutting it to the near sideline, getting out of one tackle, making a couple men miss. He reverses field, and now he has nothing but green in front of him. Down to the 50. He cuts it back, breaks another tackle before being taken down.
What an individual effort. Did a great job at just making something happen there. Armstrong did a good job on the kick coverage. They had all the lanes maintained. They had him pretty much cornered right where they wanted him. He was just shifty enough and strong enough to break out of that initial pack, reverses field. And I'm actually surprised there isn't a flag on the play, because normally when you see a reversal like that, and
there you go, Ryan.
There it is. I didn't see the flag, but normally when you have a reversal like that, it's just so easy to hold. Because all of a sudden the blocks are engaged, and then when the runner goes against the grain like that, it's just such an inclination to pull your guy, and sure enough, that happened there. Still, though, good field position, 39-yard line.
Yeah, the block in the back, sending them from Armstrong's side of the field at the 45 to their own 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, 7:53 remaining here in the third quarter. Man goes in motion. Teska fakes the handoff. Nothing given. And a great tackle that time by Caleb Retzer.
And I'll be honest, I'm shocked with that play call by Greensburg-Salem. Your success so far against Armstrong has pretty much come on the sweeps and the outside. What little success there's been has been kind of to the outside. So I'm shocked that they went with a fake on the sweep and chose to go right up the gut at a defense that has proven they can stop you up the gut.
Great wheels to get to the sideline there by Jackson Hogan. They would have caught him with an extra man on the field. Handoff goes up the middle, and some room, and a big extension of that play is taking that ball was Kai Brunot.
And that was one of the few times that we've seen Greensburg-Salem get control of the interior of the line of scrimmage and create a crease up the middle of that Armstrong defense. And sure enough, these backs have shown that they have quickness, much like Mars last week. These backs are quick. If you give them that seam, they're going to get through and they're going to get positive yards in a hurry. So Armstrong's going to have to continue to be disciplined up front, tie up those blocks, let the linebackers fill.
Teska waits for it in the pistol, hands it off to his back. Once again, taking that, it's Brunot. And he'll get a decent gain there on 1st down. Call it about 2nd and 5 now.
And the second straight play, we've seen Greensburg-Salem win the line of scrimmage. And the team that wins the line of scrimmage normally wins the play and a lot of times wins the game. But, if you're Armstrong, you're actually okay with this pace of play. You're okay with them getting 4 and 5 yards at a time, keeping that clock run.
Ball on the Armstrong 42-yard line. Snap goes to Teska in the gun. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's taken down immediately there.
Boy, and he took an absolute shot there. An absolute shot by Crispin. Crispin came into the hole and took him. It was face mask to face mask. And Teska's going to need a play or two probably to be able to see one guy instead of two, because that was a shot in the hole. Nice clean hit by Crispin.
That sets up now a 3rd down and 3. Ball on the Armstrong 41. Teska looking to pass. Has his man, and it once again dropped. Donovan Waller.
Tonight's just been about bad timing and inability to make the big play at the big moment so far for Greensburg-Salem. We saw it earlier on. There was a couple times where receivers got separation. Teska just missing the receivers, throws that I'm sure he expects to make. And then a couple other times we've seen the receivers create some separation. Teska puts it right on them, and they just, whether they're looking downfield too early or just unable to make the play, it just seems like Greensburg-Salem they just can't seem to put it together.
5:41 left in the third quarter. Teska gets the snap again on 4th down. He decides to throw it, and that one over the head of both of the receivers in the vicinity. Both Donovan Waller and Jaden Stevens were there, but none of them could really make a play on that ball.
No, there was definitely a miscommunication amongst the receivers, a misread of some sort, because you had the inside receiver running a flag route and you had the outside receiver running almost like a stop and go. So you ended up with 2 receivers in the same spot, and there's never a play design where there's 2 receivers in the same spot. So it made that play almost impossible to complete for Teska.
So a turnover on downs brings the Armstrong Riverhawks offense back out onto the field. They looked pretty good in the opening drive of this third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely did. So here we go, 40-yard line, 41-yard line, Armstrong with the ball, and this could be a kill shot here if you take the ball down and score.
Olsen in the gun, 2 wide receivers split on either side. It's going to be another one of those pitch option plays, but Olsen deciding to keep it this time. He takes it just shy of the 50-yard line down to the 48.
Olsen's made great reads all night long in the running game. A lot of times quarterbacks don't get the credit that they deserve for that, but he has consistently made the right decision with the ball in the backfield. Only once or twice did it even look like it was a 50-50 situation. And in those situations, he did a nice job of protecting the ball, taking what he could get. But once again, just being patient back there. He's not rushing his decisions. He's waiting to see what develops from the defense, and he's making the right reads almost every time.
We talked about in the pregame the idea of balanced offense, and so far I'd say Armstrong has really showed that off today. Handoff goes to Patton. He breaks a pair of tackles before being wrapped up and taken down beyond the 50, down to about the 47-yard line.
And Patton is just exactly what this kind of an offense needs. You got a high-octane offense with an all-state quarterback that can throw the ball everywhere, and then you add a power puncher and a finisher like Patton. He's the epitome of a finisher, a guy that is a powerful back that gets more powerful as the game goes on, gets harder to bring down as the game goes on. At the end of that run, there was 4 Greensburg-Salem defenders on the field, laying on the field around him. That kind of guy just wears down a defense as the game goes on.
4 wide receivers out, 2 on each side of Olsen. Olsen drops back, elects to run. He has a lane. He's going to pick up the first down and fall forward. So another great run here for Olsen.
And I love the call. You know, you just came off a couple runs, so it's almost like the defense is expecting you to mix it up with a pass. And then you take your all-state quarterback in the shotgun. You have him do a 3-step drop, looking downfield. You're scurrying around to find the receivers, and next thing you know, he tucks it and runs. It just goes to show you the confidence that Coach Fabian has in the legs of Olsen and the ability to run, because there's been about 4 or 5 designed runs so far that weren't options, that just were designed runs for him.
3:40 left in the third quarter. Olsen in the gun. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen, 2 bunched together in the slot. And another run up the middle, breaking it loose once again. So you like to call him the General.
The General was on it again. The contact was made 3 yards downfield, and he ended up getting a 7-yard gain out of that. That's how it's been all night with him. Actually, he got an 8, 9, almost 9. I mean, that's just how it's been all night with the General. I mean, yards after contact, he very rarely gets tackled in the backfield. And yards after contact are just huge, and it just wears down a defense. Can't say it enough. When it takes 4 or 5 guys every play to exhaust all their efforts to bring down a runner, it just deflates them.
Yeah, well said. I'd imagine his yards after contact and his total yards are pretty close to each other. As going downfield is Olsen, and a great pass break up there.
That ball was right on the money, and again, a great play call. You ran the ball. It's like a body puncher. You body punch, and as soon as those hands go down on the defense, you just bring a haymaker to the jaw. And that was a haymaker to the jaw. It was a beautiful throw. Just an excellent job of recovering and making a play at the last minute by the defense.
Yeah, Jerome Wallish.
Great individual play there.
Was in coverage on that play, and it sets up now 3rd down and short here for the Riverhawks. 2:45 remain in the third. Fakes the handoff, does Olsen. He's going to try to break through the middle of the line, but a good job by Greensburg-Salem to collapse inward and stop him short of the first down.
Yeah, and if you're Armstrong, a slow get up by Olsen. You know, the one negative thing to all the designed runs, especially when you're relying on a quarterback the way they rely on Olsen, it can have some wear and tear. So, you know, every time that kind of a play is called, you're definitely putting him at risk. It's the only downside to that. And in Greensburg-Salem, you could tell they weren't going to fall for that act again. They were very cautiously pursuing and keeping an eye open for him, looking for holes. So they did a nice job of sealing up all the lanes.
Armstrong head coach Frank Fabian electing to go for it on 4th. Olsen hit as he throws, and that one broken up over the middle of the field. Excellent coverage once again there by Raquan Rollins.
I'll tell you, that was a great job of Olsen of getting that ball out at the last minute, and I think that was Segola on the attempted reception. You know, that what you want out of your receiver there is to kind of come back to the ball. That's something that as these guys go on more and more into the season and into next year, they're going to get better at that. But in that kind of a situation, as a receiver, for all the young receivers out there watching, you don't want to wait on a ball to come to you, especially if you're standing still. You want to attack the ball, come to the ball, help your quarterback out.
Teska hands it off on first down, and once again, Kai Brunot with the carry. And, in the first half, we saw a lot of John Wallish, but now the featured back seems to be Kai Brunot.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if there's some kind of an injury issue there because, to have your number one rusher not on the field for a lot of the first half, and now starting the second half when you're trying to make really a game this is the game here. If you're Greensburg-Salem and your number one rusher's not on the field, so I'd imagine there's some form of an injury issue there, unfortunately for him.
Teska hands the ball off up the middle. Nowhere to go there as that now brings up third down and about 7 to go.
And if you're Armstrong, that's a dream start to this drive. You're getting into the very latter stages of the third quarter. You got a comfortable lead. And you just had 2 play calls. You had a minute and a half taken off the clock, and you only gave up 4 yards and the clock's running. So if you're Armstrong, that's an absolutely perfect start to the drive.
Teska now lining up in the shotgun, 3rd and 6, ball at the 39-yard line, 45 seconds to go here in the quarter. Man going in motion is Stevens, fakes the handoff, does the quarterback there, and that one looks to be caught that time by Donovan Waller.
It's a nice job of Teska there fitting it in. He's been putting it out in front of his receivers, and Armstrong's been doing a nice job of breaking on the ball, kind of waiting to see what happens, breaking on the ball. That time, you could tell he wasn't going to let that trick happen again. He threw it to the back shoulder, and he drove it in there. And a very nice throw by Teska, and a really key play to move the sticks.
Man in motion. He gets the handoff on the sweep. That is Rollins. Rollins taken down after the 50-yard line. And a great tackle that time by Caleb Retzer.
What an individual great play by Retzer, coming from behind the play, tracking down the runner, and making the play there because that looked like they were going to get a 5, 6, 7-yard gain there, and he limited them to just a minimal pickup.
And that'll do it for the third quarter of action, but we're going to stick right here. I got a couple of people to tell you about, starting with Shop and Save. The Franklin Village Shop and Save has everything you need to put together a perfect Friday night tailgate. Be sure to check out the Butcher Shop, or you can visit Shop and Save's Fantastic Deli for a custom meat and cheese tray. Shop and Save at the Franklin Village Mall is family owned and community dedicated, and here to help you with all of your tailgate needs. Shop and Save at the Franklin Village Mall is also hiring part-time workers in every department. Drop off an application or give them a call today. I'd also like to thank UFP Parker. They're an essential business with essential people like you. UFP Parker LLC's products are key to everyday life and are wide-ranging, including treated lumber, trusses and building components, concrete forming materials, and industrial packaging. UFP Parker needs people like you to keep growing. Working there, you'll find coworkers who treat you like family and people who have your best interest at heart and will make your career a priority. With manufacturing facilities located in Parker, Emlenton, and Clarion, UFP Parker is currently hiring several skill levels from general laborers to assemblers. Visit ufpi.com/career as this play is off, and it'll be short of the first down.
Haven't seen too much of a quick game in the passing game from Greensburg-Salem. We've seen some stop routes in the 7 to 10 yard variety, but we haven't seen too many bubble screens and quick hitches. That was one of the first ones. But again, Armstrong's willing to take that. You're willing to take 20 seconds off the clock, 30 seconds off the clock, 3-yard gain. You're willing to take that all day long.
And we have some motion on the line there. An encroachment call on the defense, and that's a big penalty there, Ryan, that now sets up the Golden Lions with a new set of downs.
Yeah, they were trying to time up the snap there. Teska must have been running a pretty regular cadence. It's almost like they were trying to time up some sort of a blitz there and just got caught.
So 1st and 10, ball at the Armstrong 40-yard line. Teska dropping back. He's going to go deep. That one off the hands and caught, bobbled and caught by Cody Rubricht. There is a flag down on the field.
That was an amazing play by Rubrick. They had They had interference there. That was pass interference, blatant pass interference on Armstrong. He did a great job, individual job, of fighting through that interference and tracking the ball, catching the ball. Not only catching the ball, he almost scored. Excellent one-on-one play. And, Teska did a great job there of putting it out there for his receiver. He put it in a spot only the receiver could make the play, forcing Armstrong to make to commit a pass interference violation. But, he didn't just accept the pass interference. He fought through it, made the catch, and came with 1 yard score. An excellent individual effort and much needed for Greensburg-Salem.
Yeah, a 39-yard connection there from Teska to Rubricht, and able to punch it in there was Hayden Teska on the quarterback keeper. But going back to that last play, I mean, we've seen a number of circus catches from Isaiah Brown in the first half, and now Cody Rubricht kind of the opposite, on the opposite side of him, playing kind of that big play threat. We saw him make a circus play, and it's just been a fun game to watch. We thought we'd see fireworks in the pregame show, and man, has this game delivered.
We've seen 3 of the best catches we've seen all season, in my opinion, tonight, and that was another one of them. Rubricht, great individual effort. His team needed it more than ever with 11:19 left in the fourth quarter. They were really facing a down-and-out situation.
And a flip and a throw, looking for Teska there, but incomplete. A little trick play on the double reverse pass.
And it was there. Teska, being a quarterback, maybe he hasn't played receiver for a while, but he stopped his route, and that's what forced the overthrow. He stopped his route. The end around that had the ball looking to throw was reading him to continue on with his route, threw the ball, and it came up long on that. It was there. Great, well-designed play by Greensburg-Salem, and a big miss there. A big miss because that would have cut the lead down to a 1-score possession with a 2-point conversion. And now it's a 2-score game, comfortable 2-score game. Big play by Armstrong there. Even though they gave up the big play, gave up the touchdown, stopping that 2-point conversion was huge. And if you're Greensburg-Salem, man, you wish you had that back because it was a great play call. They had what they wanted. It was a well-designed play, and they just didn't execute on the receiving end of it.
Deshaun Alexander set to kick this one away here. Shuttleworth, the deepest back for Armstrong on the returns. Alexander's kick is away. This one will bounce towards the sideline, and Brown will watch that one go out.
Just a shank on that kick. You could tell they were trying to, by the way the coverage was shaping up on that one, you could tell they were trying to really finely angle it down into that coffin corner, make it very tough for Brown or anybody to return the ball. And sometimes when you get a little extra cute like that, that's when you have shanks. So that was just a shank. But, that being said, Armstrong has the ball at the 40. Greensburg-Salem now has a little bit of momentum on their side for the first time really since the first quarter. So, here we go. If you're Greensburg-Salem, you're thinking, let's stop these guys, let's get a turnover. They've proven they can create turnovers. If you're Armstrong, you're thinking, okay, we got to get a nice sustained drive here, take up a bunch of clock, and we got to put this thing in the end zone and end this thing.
Armstrong now has it, 1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. And that handoff goes up the middle once again. Patton, though, met immediately there. And a great tackle by Jaden Stevens.
And that just goes to show you, the importance. If you're playing defense against a guy like Patton, it shows you how important it is to stop him before his pads get turned, before he gets momentum going upfield. If you can do that, he's manageable to bring down. But if you let him get that head of steam, he's very hard to take down. It's a great job at Greensburg-Salem of stopping that run.
Gain of 1 on the last play, 2nd and 9, 10:45 left in the fourth quarter here as Olsen and company look to the sideline.
And you can see them bringing the safeties up. Greensburg-Salem, they're going to gamble a little bit more. It's that time of game where you got to force something to happen.
And Olsen keeping it that time on the pitch option. He gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back on the loss of a yard there. It'll set him back at the original line of scrimmage.
And if you're Armstrong, I think you have to guard against being shutting the factory down too soon. There's 10-12 left. You've gotten as far as you have by balancing it. That time, Greensburg-Salem brought everybody up in the box. They only had 1 safety past 7 yards. And, they were expecting the run. They got the run. So if you're Armstrong, I think you still have to take some shots here and there to keep those safeties honest, to keep them from creeping up.
Olsen in the gun, trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. He gets the handoff, or he gets the snap, fakes the handoff. Now he rolls to the outside, tries to shake off the sack, but he is brought down. And a great play there by the guy we've said a lot on that defensive side, Christian McKenzie.
Tell you, he's had a nice game, McKenzie, and he did a great job of just staying with it, tracking Olsen down. There was nothing downfield. Now, the one thing you'll say there, from an offensive standpoint, a field position standpoint, you'd like to see it when nothing's there. You'd like to see him just throw that ball away and maintain the field position. But, at the same time, you got a great quarterback like Olsen. You don't want him to give up on a play either, because he can make a play at any given moment. So that's one of those tricky ones.
I think this is the first punt we've seen today from Armstrong here, Ryan.
I believe it is.
And it was a very good punt there as it rolls down to about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Golden Lions will take over with 8:57 left.
That punt was absolutely critical, because on that sack, you had pinned them back to the 20-yard line. If you're Greensburg-Salem, you're expecting a punt that's going to land around your own 40 that you can then return, hopefully, to midfield. But instead, a beautiful bomb of a punt in a perfect angle, landed at about the 35, got a great roll, and now what Greensburg-Salem was looking at great field position, now they have poor field position. So a huge punt that time.
This has to be a quick drive here for Greensburg-Salem, and they got a lot of green to cover.
This is where that two-point conversion failure becomes huge, because now it limits your play calling. You can't just continue to try to run the ball up the middle. You have to take chunk shots and put risk out there.
It's the difference between a one-score game and a two-score game, as that one picked off. Connor Jacobs with the interception. He takes it across the 35, breaks through a tackle, down tackled now. Across the 30, ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line, and just like that, Armstrong flips this game back on its head.
And that right there shows the importance of that stop on that two-point conversion, on that failure to make the two-point conversion by Greensburg-Salem, because now it affects the mindset, and also it goes to show how important that punt was, because if that punt doesn't pin them deep, now they probably run the ball there or run a short pass, but now they're pinned so deep, they're up against time, they need 2 scores, so now you're pressed. Now you have to press, and that's all that was. That was just a forced throw downfield. Jacobs did a good job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback, coming off of his offender and getting into a position to make a play. Great job there.
Olsen in the gun, 2 backs flanked to each side, or a back flank to each side of him. Fakes the handoff, quick little screen to Brown. He has room to rumble. Falls over the defender there and picks up some extra yardage. That'll move the sticks.
And that's where the fake bubble screen earlier that we saw, even though it ended up being an interception, that fake sticks in the minds of the defenders. It takes away the ability of them to overcommit to that, and it gives you a little room to work. And that time, Brown made the pay. And I like how Armstrong isn't going with the same approach last time. They're not just running the ball up the middle. They're extending it. Now, that was a very safe pass, but at the same time, it was a pass. So they're getting back to that balanced attack that was so successful early on.
Ball on the 18-yard line. Armstrong now in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Olsen waiting for the snap, gets it, handoff to Patton. No, he keeps it. Takes the ball, makes a man miss, falls forward. And a good job there by Olsen, able to stay up and kind of extend that ball forward after being taken down on the play.
Another good read by Olsen on the option. Another good read, another patient run. Made a nice little move on that first defender to get around him. And, he turns a play that really, by all rights, should have been stopped for a 1-yard gain, and he turns it into a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Second down and 6, 7.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Olsen in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers split on each side of the line. Another quick audible coming in here for Armstrong. Olsen gets the snap, fakes the handoff, another quick screen to Brown. And even though Greensburg-Salem looked to be all over it, Brown still able to turn that ball upfield and get some positive yardage.
That was a good job of executing by Armstrong. Normally when you see press coverage like that, especially with that many safeties near the line of scrimmage, you don't really want to throw a bubble screen in that or a quick hitch in that against that formation. Normally in that kind of a formation, you want to hit a seam, hit a fade, something to the outsides. But that time, they did a nice job executing and making something positive.
Third down and 1, ball on the 9-yard line.
Going with that jumbo package again.
And Yeah, once again, the carry goes inside, and good luck stopping that guy. Julius Barnes with another carry up the middle.
That's the third or fourth time we saw that formation. And, there's no mystery of what's going to come when he's back there to collect
it's
that
not going to
snap.
be a pass.
Yeah, they maybe there's a surprise up our sleeve. Maybe there's a jump pass involved there. Maybe they have that in there. But for the most part, you see that big guy back there with his hands out waiting for the ball. You know what's coming. But I guarantee there's not one of those defenders that wants to take him on man to man. And if you look right now, the Greensburg-Salem defense, a lot of the guys have their hands on their hips right now. They are winded. That defense has been out there an awful lot in the second half and in the second quarter, and this is when you start to see the fatigue set in, especially when you're playing desperation football like this.
Armstrong with a long, sustained drive here. The tail end of this game, 6 minutes or under 6 minutes to go, 5:54 left here in the fourth quarter, and a timeout called, but we're going to stay right here. I got a couple people I need to thank real quick, like Stanley's Bar and Grill at 507 4th Avenue in Ford City. It's a great place to catch the game, meet up with friends, and enjoy a great meal on Friday nights. Stanley's Bar and Grill is an Armstrong County institution and features a great atmosphere and even better food. Be sure to try the world-famous hot sausage sandwich, highly recommended by the High Top Sports Network team, myself especially, just one of my favorite sandwiches in all of Armstrong County. That's Stanley's Bar and Grill in downtown Ford City. I'd also like to extend a thanks to Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop, the official clother of High Top Sports Network. Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is family-owned and can handle all of your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 Ford Street in downtown Ford City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or designs on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461. And now it's a first and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line. Olsen with the keeper. No, he pitches it out to Patton, who breaks a tackle and goes into the end zone. Patton always going to break that first tackle. That time he does it for a 7-yard touchdown scamper.
And again, Olsen, he's been spot on with all of his running reads tonight. Again, showing great patience with the ball, great control of the football and of the situation, made the perfectly timed option pitch, and then Patton caught the ball with his shoulder pads facing downfield, and we've seen time and time again, when that is achieved, he is awful tough to bring down. That time, went in virtually untouched.
And now out there to attempt the extra point, brought to you by UFP Parker, is Hunter Reed. He knocks it through. So the UFP Parker extra point knocked in. And it's been a great Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night here on High Top Sports Network. Fireworks are aplenty on the offensive side of the ball here. And
definitely.
Although Armstrong's defense has stepped up since the first quarter, we've still seen a lot of great plays on both sides of the ball.
Oh, no question about it. Armstrong has made the plays. And, big games like this, that's really what it comes down to. Which team is going to execute when it matters most? And Greensburg-Salem tonight, unfortunately, it has not been their night for that. They've missed some opportunities in the passing game, both with just throws not quite where they should be. Receivers looking downfield before securing the passes, had some probably uncharacteristic drops on their part. Good job by Armstrong, though, of creating pressure on these receivers, of challenging these receivers, and making these catches difficult. And Armstrong, on the other hand, every time they've needed something, they've been able to come up with it. We've seen it time and time again with Brown and some of these other playmakers. They just have really come through in the clutch. Great game so far for Armstrong. Great building game moving forward. Confidence that your guys are going to pull through when it matters most in a big game like this.
And a short kick there. I'm thinking that Armstrong doesn't want to give Raekwon Rollins another chance at returning that one. That one was received by Christian Hostetler, the up man, taken to the 41-yard line of in Greensburg-Salem territory.
Yeah, I think that basically was an intercepted squib kick.
Teska looking to throw, far sideline. He connects with his wide receiver, and that, of course, is his favorite target, Cody Rubricht.
And now at this point, if you're Armstrong, you're basically gonna go into almost like an umbrella coverage. And your main job is to keep every play from going beyond 5 or 10 yards and from going out of bounds. So you want to keep everything inside. You want to keep that clock. The clock is your best friend at this point. So like that last play where they got out of bounds, that's not what you want if you're Armstrong. You want to keep everything inside the lines, keep the clock rolling, make them work for every play. You don't actually mind giving up a score here. If they have to take 10 plays to do it and they keep the clock running in between, you get the ball back with a minute left, you're okay with that. So this isn't about giving up a score. You're okay with giving up a score. You just want to make them really earn it and work their way down the field.
Lane Hepner a little banged up on that play, but he's able to walk to the sideline under his own power. Next to him, of course, the athletic director for the Riverhawks, the Iceman, Todd Harvey. .5:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Greensburg-Salem has the ball at their own 48-yard line here on second down and 3 yards to go. Teska makes the throw. It's going to pick up a first down before he's drugged down right around the 47, 46-yard line.
And Teska on that play showed you why he's been so successful this year. Stepped up, made a nice throw with authority. Unfortunately, Armstrong, they're going to give that up the rest of the game. As long as they can make the tackles and keep you from going out of bounds. And you saw the coverage there that time, coming up there and making a stop. But you saw how the coverage was outside. He was going to do everything in his power to make the tackle before going out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's a tough throw to make there, intended for Jaden Stevens, kind of on that far hash, throwing across your body.
Well, this is where you'll see a lot of late game picks because the offense's job is to quickly get the ball into the receiver's hands and either make a play downfield or get out of bounds quickly. The offense's job is to keep everything inside, so a lot of times you have routes running into defensive backs.
And Teska with another throw. That one completed this time on the sideline to Donovan Waller.
An excellent job by Valasek there of keeping, or is that Valasek or is that?
Yep, that is Valasek.
That's an excellent job by Valasek of keeping him from going out of bounds. He gave up the reception, but you'll take that. But he did a nice job of wrapping him up and not allowing him to extend that ball out of bounds, keeping the clock rolling, and now forcing a timeout.
And 4:51 left here in the fourth quarter. And while we have a timeout, I got to thank some more people that help us do what we do here at High Top Sports Network. The Manor Township Volunteer Fire Department is a proud supporter of Riverhawks athletics and would like to wish all Armstrong athletes a safe, healthy, and successful fall sports season. Stay tuned to the Manor Township Volunteer Fire Department Facebook page to keep up to date with all of their great fundraisers like ticket sales, gun bashes, roast beef dinners, and so much more. Remember, you can always host your banquet, reception, or other gathering at the Manor Township Fire Hall. Go Riverhawks. And while we still have some time here, I'd like to thank Armscare, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, providing the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and services for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Armscare can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Contact Armscare today at 724-545-3200. So final 5 minutes here, Ryan. If Greensburg-Salem's going to try and claw their way back into this game, I mean, a 17-point deficit, it might be a little tough. Is that one deflected? And is it picked off? It is! What a play! It looked like, oh, now the flag parade coming out.
Pass is intercepted by number 88, Connor Jacobs.
Connor Jacobs making some big plays out here in the second half.
Yeah, that's Jacobs again, just, having good instincts, having his eyes in the backfield, reading the quarterback, and putting himself in a great position to make a play. We saw him last week make a few big plays at critical moments. And once again, he's shown that he's not afraid of the spotlight.
Yeah, he's really turned it on here in the second half, picking two balls off now, actually.
No, two huge picks, and both very similar, with a quarterback like Teska, he hasn't really shown the patience to come off of his first read. So right now, at least on Jacob's part, he's gambling a little bit, but there hasn't been a reason not to gamble. He's just kind of following the eyes and going to where the eyes are taking him. And, heads up to him and obviously well coached, but great instincts. And those instincts are really paying off for Armstrong because those two very big plays.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. I'm Jake DeLuca, joined by Colton Henderson on the camera, Ryan Sprankle on color commentating tonight. And the handoff goes inside, or no, Olsen keeps it. And, he's been really good at deceiving me up here, Ryan, on those quarterback keepers on the option reads.
Yeah, he has done a great job of that all night long. Now, if I'm Armstrong, if I'm the coaching staff of Armstrong, at this stage in the game, I don't think, even if it's the right read, I think I'd rather have my all-state quarterback handing off the rock there and taking whatever we can get and getting that play clock or getting the game clock down a little bit. I don't think I want to take any risk of him going upfield with a shoulder out first at this point.
That'll set up a 2nd and 2, ball on the Armstrong 33-yard line. Olsen in the gun, hands it off up the middle. Once again, that's Patton, and he's able to break a couple tackles and pull the defenders forward for a nice gain.
And even in a spot like that where it was obviously a run play, Greensburg-Salem playing the run, Patton engaged pretty much little after the line of scrimmage and still churned out a 3 or 4 yard gain. Just goes to show you what a powerful runner he is. And if you can give him even a crack and let him get downfield, get running downhill with those shoulder pads out first, those legs are going to get you yards. Actually, he got the first down there.
And they do give it to him. Looked like they were going to mark him down 3rd and 1 for a second there, Ryan. But
another great job of just keeping those legs churning and getting the yards after contact. So deflating for a defense when a runner consistently does that. You have him stopped, and he ends up getting a 4 yard gain when you thought he was going to get a no gain, and 6 yards on what you thought was going to be a 1 yard gain.
Handoff once again, and this one's going to come back on a hold, but you like to see Retzer running strong here in the 4th quarter. Unfortunately, as he rounded the corner on the near sideline, there was a hold.
And we haven't seen it as often as I thought we would, but Retzer gives him that good changeup to Patton. He's got a totally different style. He's more of a slashing runner. He's got, arguably more speed. That time they got outside and just had a little bit of a hold out there. But, it's nice that this offense continues to evolve each week. Beginning of the year, I felt like they were kind of one-dimensional. And then Olsen, as the years went on, Olsen has developed into more of a runner himself to give them balance. And now in the last couple of weeks, we've seen especially Patton step up and really become a consistent body puncher for that offense. So you're looking at an offense that's getting more and more dangerous by the week because they're getting more and more balanced by the week. And now with Brown looking healthier and making plays, it's a very scary offense Armstrong has.
After the penalty, that backs the Riverhawks offense to their own 25-yard line for a 1st down and 20 to go. Olsen, another handoff up the middle, as Patton able to get a couple yards there on that run.
And again, the general, 3 defenders, sounds like a broken record, but 3 defenders laying on the ground around him. I mean, the comparison to the World War II general, George Patton, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. It's the same thing, old blood and guts. I mean, this guy leaves a path of carnage on almost every run.
Yeah, he does. He's been running hard all game long, and in the 4th quarter, that continues. But while we have a timeout here, let's cut to commercial real quick. Stick around here on High Top Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
And welcome back, everyone. 2nd down and 16 to go here for the Armstrong offense. Olsen in the gun. He's going to keep it. Look to flip it out to his back. He does, but that play going nowhere. Might have even lost a yard or two on that one.
Yeah, and this frame of the game, I don't know if I'm a fan of the option at this stage in the game. You're giving yourself one more chance of a ball handling mistake or some kind of weird deflection, something crazy happen. Even though it's you would think it's fairly out of reach. I like just a straight handoff or a straight keep at this point. Although you really don't want to give any more punishment on your quarterback at this point in the game.
So they're going to give him no gain on the play, 3rd and 16. Olsen fakes the handoff, looking to pass. He's going to let this one go for Brown. He had him beat by his step, but just overthrown that time.
And if you're Olsen, you want that back. Just you had your guy. You had the matchup you wanted on the outside. You had him beat by a couple steps. He really drove that in, instead of just putting some air under it and letting him run under it. That's always just such a tough judgment call for a quarterback. Not easy to do, and at that stage of the game, you don't want to underthrow him and risk an interception. So Olsen being a little safe there, you can appreciate that.
Yeah, and Olsen, anytime he sees that single coverage on Brown, he's quick to attack it. That time just a little too strong.
Well, I guarantee you, if we had a close-up camera on Olsen's eyes, when he sees that kind of coverage on Brown, I guarantee his eyes are wide open and very large when he sees that coverage on Brown, especially with the way Brown's playing tonight. The extra jump in the step we've seen that we haven't seen earlier in the season when he's been trying to shake off some injuries.
You might even say you'd see a twinkle in his eye when he sees that coverage.
Oh, yeah. His eyes get very big. I guarantee you he gets excited when he sees that coverage.
So now the Golden Lions offense marching back out onto the field, led by Hayden Teska, the senior, 6'2", 190-pound quarterback.
Once again, you got Olsen back there at safety.
And Teska gets the snap, quick screen pass in and out of the hands of his intended target, Kai Brunot there.
They're putting Olsen back there about 20, 25 yards, 6'5" frame. And they're basically saying you're not going to throw deep.
Yeah, Olsen kind of playing center field back there for the Riverhawks.
At this point, if Teska goes 10 for 10 on this drive and averages 5 yards of reception and you're able to keep them in bounds, you're going to take that because they're going to run out of clock.
Shotgun formation. Teska looking over the middle. He has his man there. And that is Hostetler on the reception.
That was a good throw there. Teska stepping in, showing why he's been so successful this year. Again, stepping into his throw, firing the ball in there with authority.
Hurry up offense. The slant pass completed there to Waller. He's still on his feet, breaks it outside even more. And that was a good little pitch and catch from Teska.
And, that's about the 6th time we've seen that same pattern, that same play. Almost, it's somewhere between a slant and a post. But 2 or 3 times Waller wasn't able to come up with the play. Another time it was underthrown. Last 2 times it's been right on him, and he's made a nice gain.
Teska going deep. That one a jump ball, a little too high for Donovan Waller, and good coverage on the play that time as well by Jack Valasek.
And again, great coverage by Valasek. He kept a hand on the receiver, but not interfering. He kept an eye on he looked for the ball at the last minute and made a nice play on it. That was actually textbook deep coverage. Little underthrown. Ball was a little underthrown, but at the same time, you got to hand it to him. That was great coverage.
2:02 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Teska and the offense looking to strike one last time. Man in motion is Hostetler. Teska dropping back to throw, looking on the far sideline. He has it complete to his man, Rubricht, and Rubricht able to get out of bounds right around the first down marker there.
And Teska is making some nice completions, and I'm sure he's starting to feel more comfortable. If you're Greensburg-Salem at this point in the game, you just want to go down, you want to score, you want to end this game feeling good about something heading into the next game.
Playing for pride. Greensburg-Salem. Teska in the gun. Looks to throw. That one overshot. Intended for Jaden Stevens there on that one.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you are playing for pride, but really, this game is over. I mean, it really is. They know it is. It's pretty much impossible to come back. Right now, if you're Greensburg-Salem, you're playing for the next game. You're playing because that last moment of the game, you want to have a positive experience, something that you can take and build momentum on and practice going into your next game.
And just a little QB sneak there to pick up the first down on 4th and 1 for Greensburg-Salem. Quick back to the line of scrimmage. That one nearly intercepted there.
And a great job of Chrisman of reading the eyes of the quarterback. You know, he was just in a straight zone, ball hawking. Sometimes with plays like that, they'll give the linebacker the option of blitzing or staying back. And that time he stayed back. He read the eyes of the quarterback, did a nice job making a play on that ball. I thought he was going to come up with it.
That brings us now to 2nd down and 10. Greensburg-Salem in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. That one completed on the quick slant, and he's dragging the defense back with him to around the 5-yard line. Forward progress will mark him right around the 3.
Teska showing his arm strength again there. You know, I think he's maybe a little frustrated by a couple of those drops earlier, and now he's firing it so hard it's just kind of getting embedded into their stomach.
When the frustration builds, the arm strength increases, Ryan.
I think so. I think so. I think in this case it has, because the velocity on those last couple of passes has definitely been a lot stronger. But that being said, Armstrong's in more of a prevent defense now, so Teska has a lot more confidence. You know, Armstrong's done a nice job of mixing up their coverages in this game, playing a lot of tight coverage. And when it's tight coverage like that, quarterback just has a little indecisiveness, and it causes them to sometimes take a little off those throws. And that may be why we've seen some of these throws be a little behind, a little off the mark, because he's just not quite sure what he's seeing. So he's not stepping in there with the authority that he is right now.
And while we still have, nope. Looks like the teams are breaking the huddle. 1 minute and 30 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Armstrong up by 17. It's 1st and goal, ball at the 4-yard line.
Once again, if you're Armstrong, you're not done in this game. You don't want them to score here. You want to end this game decisively. You want to end this game with a decisive victory over a key opponent.
And the fade route to the back of the end zone, overthrown. Able to get one hand on it was Donovan Waller, but just a little out of the reach of him.
And that was a good throw by Teska. I felt like Waller almost lost the ball a little bit there. He kind of slowed down on it and didn't continue on and finish his route. And then he came up a little short at the end there. I thought that was a nicely laid out ball by Teska, and it should have been caught by Waller. He kind of got a little, I think he just didn't find the ball in time.
2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Teska keeping it himself, falls towards the goal line, and did he get in?
And if you're Armstrong, that is exactly what you wanted to happen, because now it forces another 10, 15 seconds off a clock, and now you have they weren't set. Now you're going to have the ball at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Greensburg-Salem just a little too antsy to get that play off there, and now it'll back them up 5 yards. I mean, it says 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard before that play, but that was about 3rd and 2 or 3 inches, Ryan.
Yeah, that's just, they're wanting to get it in there quick. They're wanting to give themselves a chance to make some form of an onside kick and get the ball back and hope for a miracle. So they just wanted to get it in. But, at the same time, when you're a quarterback in that spot, you still have to maintain discipline and make sure everybody's set before you get that ball snapped. That's a big penalty now, because now you got 3rd and 6. You're going to have to use more clock. And once again, no matter what, you want to finish this game on a high note if you're Greensburg-Salem.
Teska looking to throw. Far sideline. That one battled for, and it's ruled incomplete. Excellent coverage on the far side.
And Teska just he just threw it behind him a little bit. Dangerous, always dangerous to throw an out route behind the receiver. At first I thought that was going to be intercepted by Armstrong. They made a nice break on it, but again, he's just missing on these misses. He's just missing by a little bit here, a little bit there. But that's enough. That's enough to make up for a big gap in the score right now.
Yeah, Lane Hepner with the pass breakup on that last play. They send Hostetler in motion. Teska back to throw. He throws it short to the back, and he's going to be stuffed.
What a great job of Armstrong. They kind of stayed back in a zone look there. They let the linebackers kind of fill out and read the play. Corner did a nice job of keeping things from going outside. Linebackers did a nice job of just in tandem decisively stopping the runner. And what a big play for both teams, because now if you're Greensburg-Salem, you just lost the opportunity to have any momentum going into the next game. If you're Armstrong, you came up with a key. The last thing you're going to remember is a key goal line stand again against this great offense. And you held this offense now, at least it's going to look that way, to under 20 points. So your defense is feeling very good about this game. You've got a good balanced offensive attack showing right now. I'll tell you, if you have to play Armstrong in the next few weeks and you're looking at game film on these guys, you're going to kind of go crazy, because now with Brown being healthy and looking like the guy we've expected him to be, and with a balanced running game, quarterback that can run or throw, scary team, Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong's goal line defense, you touched on it, but just super impressive in this game. Shutting them down
the team
there.
that lost to Hampton. I can tell you that this is not the team that lost to Hampton.
Yeah, they are very, very, a very good showing by Armstrong here tonight. And I mean, even at Hampton, I mean, they're undefeated in the season, but that came down to one of the last plays in the game, going for 2 and just coming up short. But I think you always make that decision to go for 2 on the road. Barely any time left, but just falling short there. And sometimes those losses, Ryan, can be big lessons in the long term.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You know, that game against Hampton showed that you can't leave your defense out on the field like that. They made the adjustments. Great. Kudos to the coaches. Kudos to Fabian and Coach Fabian and his staff and the players. Evolving since then, becoming way more balanced since then. Right now, if I'm Armstrong, I'm feeling very good about where I'm at. This was a playoff atmosphere against a playoff caliber team. You decisively took care of business at home. I'd be feeling very good about myself. If you're Greensburg-Salem, it's a hard loss, but at the same time, you go back to the drawing board, you go back to work and practice, and you use this as almost like Armstrong used the Hampton game. You use this as a stepping stone, as a platform for future success. You lock in some of these. I mean, some of these misses tonight on the passing game were just by inches, inches. So you clean up some of that, and you come back and you finish the rest of the year. These two teams are both playoff caliber teams from what we saw tonight, and it's going to be exciting to watch the rest of the season in 4A football as we get closer to the playoffs and the games become more and more meaningful.
Very well said, Ryan. We're going to take a quick break so we can discuss who we're going to give the player of the game and play of the game to here tonight. A lot of good candidates for both. So when we return on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night, #SaveOnMeat, we'll be back with the TGIF Solutions Shellhammer Atwood & Associates post-game show. So keep it locked on to High Top Sports Network. For Ryan Sprankle, Colton Henderson, I'm Jake DeLuca. We'll be right back.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project in Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SaveOnMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesdays, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
And welcome back, everyone, to High Top Sports Network. Armstrong feeling good on this Military Appreciation Night at Next to Your Bank Stadium. And, me and the guys, we had a chance to talk it over. And starting off, we're going to give the Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop Player of the Game. Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is family owned. And they can handle all of your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 Ford Street in downtown Katanning, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461. So after a good bit of discussion, I would say, we just couldn't help ourselves. But there's so many great options out here. Connor Jacobs with 2 interceptions put together a great game. Patton putting up a great
100-yard rusher, solid 100-yard rusher. He was consistent the whole game. Jacobs made some great plays on the defensive side of the ball. You had Olsen making key plays, being the quarterback he needed to be at the key moments. Had a couple of interceptions that really were not on him when it all comes down to it. But he played a good, clean game, was a good leader, made some great reads in the running game along with the passing game. And then, of course, Brown just played out of his mind tonight. Whatever ailments he's had in that ankle or whatever has been happening with that leg, obviously tonight, that pain went away for about 2 hours because he was just unbelievable. Made some crazy plays, level 10 plays tonight.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Isaiah Brown on winning his second of the season. Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop Player of the Game. Like I said, so many good choices out here, but you talk about a guy who had the biggest impact out on the football field tonight, both offensively and defensively, and it's hard to argue against Isaiah Brown.
No, they needed a play. They needed a big play. He comes up with a Lynn Swan catch, cradle catch over defender on the sideline. Then they get close to the goal line. They're 4th and 4 at a key moment in the game when the game was far from decided, and he beat their best player one-on-one, got separation. Olsen put it on him nicely, but he created the separation, made the play when it mattered most. Defensively, made a couple of great stops that may not be as heralded as an interception or a fumble recovery, but plays where the runner had broken the line of scrimmage, looked to bounce, looked to make a big play, and he alone turned it inside and made a play on 2 or 3 different occasions that could have been game-breaking plays that could have made this game a different game.
And before we wrap things up here on this TGIF Solutions Shellhammer Atwood and Associates post-game show on High Top Sports Network, we got to talk about the play of the game brought to you by Arms Care. Located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, Arms Care provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and services for your use at home. They can help you get over any illness, accident, injury, or surgery with their caring professionals. So visit them today or call at 724-545-3200. And, we talked about the player of the game, Isaiah Brown, but the play of the game was a connection that he had on a broken play. Armstrong trying to attempt a field goal in the first half there, but it was a low snap. Olsen scooped it up, extended the play a little bit, and hey, Brown found his way in the back of the end zone, open, jumped up, caught the touchdown pass on what was probably one of, if not the most remarkable play of the season.
Just a huge play and definitely well deserving of the play of the game, and really it was a unanimous decision. I mean, unbelievable play because you have a situation where you're trying to kick a field goal to, if I remember correctly, you're trying to kick a field goal to tie the game, yep. And now all of a sudden, instead of tying the game, and you have a errant snap, just a fluke snap, that by all rights 99% of the time gets recovered by the defense, sometimes recovered and ran back the other way for a touchdown. You have a play like that that looks like you're going to all of a sudden lose the ability to tie the game and maybe even lose the lead or have the lead extended. I apologize. Have the lead extended. And now all of a sudden you flip the script on that in one play, that emotion, and you gather yourself, and you're an all-state quarterback off his back foot at the 22-yard line, throws an absolute dime under pressure to the back of the end zone. And Brown, having the night he had, again making a play, found the seam, found the soft spot. They made the connection. And that game, that play turned the tide on the game. There's no question about it, because all of a sudden you go from possibly being down. If they would have happened to recover that and run it back and get the extra point conversion, now all of a sudden you're down 17-6, where by him making that play, now you have a nice 13-10 lead. 13-10 lead versus being down 17-6 is two different games. So huge play there. That was by far the play of the game. And of course, Olsen and Brown are both a part of that key play. You can't take away, again, though, the balance that Armstrong has found in the last few weeks. You can't say it enough. It makes it so hard to prepare for a team like that, because you're thinking all-state quarterback with 17 touchdown passes. We gotta get pressure on him. We gotta stop the pass. We gotta put pressure on these receivers. We gotta put 2 high safeties. Well, guess what? You can't do that when you have a guy that can saw you up like the General has been able to do, running for 134 tonight. You cannot do that. And we saw it in the second half. They had to bring some people up. It was still hard to stop them, but it opened up some opportunities in the passing game.
Well, Ryan, I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. It's been a lot of fun and a great game to watch on this Sprinkles Neighborhood Market game night.
Thanks for having me. I'll be back on the 22nd. I'm looking forward to it already.
Hey, it's going to be another great game here on High Top Sports Network. You can find all of our schedule for the remaining fall season on hightopsportsnetwork.com. Click on that More page, and you can see everywhere we're going to be. But that'll wrap it up here for this TGIF Solutions Shellhammer Atwood & Associates post-game show. For Ryan Sprankle, for Colton Henderson, I've been Jake DeLuca, and you've all been awesome. We'll see you next time.